What's up, people? Another Saturday night, another night of fights. Thank you, Pan Pan. I appreciate the likes. Ian Garry, Carlos Prates. The undercard was pretty good. Shout out to my guy, Matt Snell. Was happy to see him come out of retirement, get a win. At first, it wasn't looking good for him. I was a little worried. But he was able to overcome the takedowns of Flick. Flick looked gassed as well. Usually, you don't see 125ers gas. A little bit of both. You can't really show them. You get banned. I'm pretty much on my last strike. Let's see. I always say it. I'm, if not the president, I'm definitely a board member of the Ian Garry, not Ian Garry, well, Ian Garry too, but mainly the Anthony Smith Haters Club. So I had to show up tonight for his retirement. A little celebration. Definitely not an Ian Garry fan as well. So let you hit what? Don't know what you mean by that, my friend. Joe, get out of there. Looking forward to this one as well. Old friend Randy Brown. Trained Randy a few times back in the day. He used to come out to Long Island and train with us. And then I'd always see him at fights. Always cool. Definitely one of the cooler people in fighting you can interact with. Same thing for Matt Schnell, who fought earlier. Dalby's definitely a tough matchup. Shout out to the folks at Wingstop as well. Love me some Wingstop. It's no Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A is very far from my house. Far enough to where it actually doesn't really even exist. But if you guys know a better chicken spot, let me know. Shout out to Keith Peterson as well. Keith Peterson's a good dude. Randy Brown's a big welterweight. Very long. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby up right now. Randy Brown looks huge next to Dalby. Oh, good uppercut by Randy Brown. Ooh, nice right hand landed for Randy Brown. A good low kick by Nicholas Dalby. Damn, 30 pro fights a lot. Oh, Randy Brown smashed Dalby's nose. Hopefully, I mean, I'd like to see them fight. Hopefully, the doctor doesn't step in on that one, but his nose is completely flattened on his face. Eugenio Suarez has 3 home runs now. That's crazy. Completely demolished Dalby's nose. Completely across his face. Let's see what I got here. Oh, chicken. Is that what that was? Oh, I missed what happened. But Dalby's on top of Randy Brown. I don't know if he rocked him or caught him with a little trip. Dalby's nose is leaking. A lot of blood from Dalby's nose right now. A lot of blood. This fight was looking done early. Dalby's hanging in there, though. Dobby's good. He got round 2. I don't know if Dobby landed a right hand or if Randy Brown just tripped in that first round, but I imagine this round's going to start looking a lot like that first round was looking. Oh. Dobby just landed a right hand. Dobby's hanging in there. Oh. Oh, big right hand by Randy Brown. They're swinging wild right now. Oh, shit. Randy Brown just knocked him out. Face planted him. Huge win for Randy Brown. That's what's up. Big knockout for Randy Brown. Again, one of the coolest people you could meet in fighting. The only problem that he's had in his career is he loses that fight every time. But he's capable of winning those fights, just hasn't gotten over that hump yet. Maybe now that knockout gives him a little confidence, helps him get to that next level. Shout out to Matt Cully in his corner. They started going, let me bang, bro, for a minute there. These fights have been good so far. Definitely delivering. Huge right hand. That's a big win. First time anybody's finished Nicholas Dobby. Nicholas Dobby's tough, durable. Shout out to Laura Sanko. She's looking good tonight. Them big ass titties. Them big old titties. She got some big old titties. I fully support female commentators and announcers with big ass titties. Very impressed by the performance there by Randy Brown. Joe, these things are too hot for you, dog. What can I do, maybe? I mean, I got buffalo sauce and everything. Maybe I can do a fry. There you go, Joe. Oh, you don't want it? What the fuck? You want that? You know, I'm in the middle. My dog has a foot infection. She got attacked by my sister's dog. So I'm in the middle of giving her medicine, so she thinks I'm trying to trick her every time I give her food. Hey, get out of there. So now, one of two things. Either Anthony Smith retires and we don't hear from him no more, or he retires and he starts doing way more media and work for the UFC and all that type of shit. I'm really hoping he just retires and fades away a little bit. Because like I said, if he has a haters club, I'm definitely a card carrying member. I mean, you gotta root for Giga, but he hasn't fought in a minute. He's getting up there in age. If you're talking about betting wise, it's actually a fight I would kind of stay away from, but probably go Onama. But I'm rooting for Giga. It's one of those type of fights. On my slips, I stayed away from that fight. But right now, I need Pajeda and Ian Garry. That's what I need, and then I'll have a nice little day. What are you growling about? I needed one thing that got me. Everything else is hitting, except I needed Ikram Alaskurev and Muniz to go over a round and a half, and Alaskar fucked them up real quick. What a fall off for Muniz. How do you submit? I guess Jacare was just dog shit at that point. How do you submit Jacare like that? Break Jacare's arm, and then you just disappoint every fight after that. Crazy. But if you're talking about betting, I mean, Giga's a nice underdog, but let me look at it. I feel like it's been forever since we've seen him fight. Unama's definitely that step down in competition from what we've seen Giga fighting against. Let me see. Pajeda, I swore off Pajeda after his last fight, but he found his way into my slip tonight. Let's see. I mean, Onama. How old is Onama? Onama's 30. I don't know how old Giga is. Let me see. I feel like Giga's old as fuck. Giga's about to be 37. Slight underdog Giga. I saw it. Tapology has him as a slight underdog. I'm seeing other sportsbook have him at like plus 200. Last fight. All right. No, he fought Arnold Allen in 2024. But been fighting once a year since 2021. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it a little bit deeper, I might be leaning towards Giga. But this is a backyard fight for Onama. Joe, why are you growling at me, bro? What do you want? I can't give you buffalo fucking chicken. Let me see. I can give you this chicken, maybe. Huh. There you go. There's nothing in it. There's no medicine. There you go, dog. But yeah, I think Ian Garry beats Prates. I'm not completely sold on the fighting nerds yet. I think Bahalo is the best of them. You know, Gene Silva beat Bryce Mitchell. I don't think Bryce Mitchell's tough. I don't think Bryce Mitchell's a top guy. Who's the other guy? Roofy beat Bobby Green. I think Bobby Green's seen better days. I think Prates is going to have a tough test tonight with Ian Garry. Now, if he knocks out Ian Garry, might be a little bit of a believer in me. But right now, I think he's just a lot of hype off beating lesser opponents. If he wins, though, tonight, I saw a lot of people saying fraud check. I don't think he's necessarily fraud checked if he loses to Ian Garry. I just think he's not that good. And not that good. Not as good as Ian Garry. And that level. He's definitely good. He's just not beaten. I think Ian Garry, where do they have Ian Garry? After that last fight, Ian Garry could easily be in the top 3. And I'm a hater. I'm not an Ian Garry fan. I'm not into that cuck shit, whatever you call it. His wife's pretty hot, though, for an older lady. You can't argue with that. They got him at, Tapology has him at 5. I usually go off Tapology. I'm not sure where he is in the UFC rankings, but after that Shavkat fight, he definitely earned my respect. And even before that, I feel like he was the same as Prates, where it's like, I think he's good, I just don't think he's that guy or that good. Get out of there. Hey! But Ian Garry definitely, his stock definitely went up. Earned a lot of respect with that Shavkat. Hey! This one should be good. But again, that Fluffy Hernandez fight, I was like, what the fuck? I remember I had a bunch of slips, a bunch of bets in, and I just needed Michel Pereira, and he fucking choked. Didn't even put up a fight. He got completely demolished by Fluffy Hernandez. So much so that I was like, never again with this fucking guy, but I liked the way he looked tonight against this guy, so. What's up, Jay Slice? How are you today? Another Saturday. Another evening of some combat sports. Nice card tonight, too. Yeah, this one should be a fun fight. This whole card, if you've been watching it, this whole card's been good so far. What's been shitty on this card? That fucking the Matt Schnell fight was good. Even though there was some grappling, there was some good grappling exchange in there. It wasn't really boring lay and pray. The Alascara fight I kind of missed, but then I saw he stopped him early. I was trying to sneak medicine into my dog's food. And then Randy Brown versus Dalby was good. Elder versus Young was, I guess, the boring fight. I missed Gutierrez versus Castaneda, but I knew Gutierrez was going to win that. I did not see the Damon Blackshear fight, so I missed a couple of the other ones. I did see Poliano, whatever her name is, Viana lost. I am a big Poliana Viana fan. How's the girl that she lost to look like? 10-1. And I'm not talking about her fighting record. A little rough in the face. But she looks like she's good. Couple armbar wins. She won by rear naked choke over Poliana Viana. Let me see this girl. Jacqueline. Amarin. Michelle Pereira should always be a good fight, but like I was saying earlier, that last fight was fucking terrible. He got completely fucking smoked by Fluffy Hernandez. Oh, this girl's not bad looking, actually. Jacqueline Amorim. I'm a fan, actually, looking at her. American Top Team. Shout out American Top Team. I love that place. She got to change her Tapology photo. Her Tapology photo is not very flattering. But when you Google her, you'll get some images that pop up. She's good looking. I'm a fan. I instantly became a fan. I'm bothered now that I missed that fight. Yeah, I'm talking about the girl who beat her tonight. Yeah, she's hot. And then she does, I mean, I'm not into that cosplay shit, but I see she does that type of shit. To each their own. Joe, I can't give you this chicken. This chicken's fucked up. But yeah, I like both of those girls. Poliana Viana and Jacqueline Amarim. Oh, man, I didn't see that. Cameron Simon lost tonight. I like Cameron Simon. Pereira fight is about to come on now. They're in that commercial break, but when they come back, that'll be the fight. Man, though, Cameron Simon looked so fucking good. Like, I remember, what was that one fight? He had a couple of fights early on where I was like, this guy looks like a killer. Like, he was a young kid. He looked like a contender. Now he's lost 3 in a row. 2 stoppages. He lost to Peyton Talbot and now Malcolm Wellmaker. Still young, but it sucks to see him lose again. Pereira gasses out past round 1 prediction. I hope not. Come on. Come here. You got to stop. Oh, you jumping? Oh, shit. I hope he doesn't gas out. There's been fights where he looked good. But then, again, that Fluffy Hernandez fight was just terrible. But I think Fluffy Hernandez is good. I think we've slept on Fluffy Hernandez enough now that it's like, oh, no, he's a contender. But yeah, the bitch, she got fucked up by my sister's dog. And my sister's dog, like as we were pulling them apart, my sister's dog gave like one final strike and bit my dog's paw. So my dog is fucked up. I got to sneak painkillers and antibiotics into her food. I had a dog in the past and I learned how you're supposed to give them pills, or an easier way to give them pills. You just like put your finger all the way, like drop the pill in their stomach. But this dog's crazy. She's a lot like John Jones. She's wild. It's tough to do anything with her. She was like biting at the fucking vet when I took her to the vet. Pereira, though, no homo. Ooh, no, don't get me TikTok. Go to the TikTok shop. It's bodied up. Dude's jacked at 185. Dude is jacked at 185. I think that also maybe aids to his gas problem. But he did have a few fights, I remember, at 85 where it was like, oh, he looks like he might wind up being a contender. But again, just Fluffy Hernandez. We got to stop sleeping. I mean, I don't know about other people, but I was sleeping on Fluffy Hernandez. A lot of fights. Now I've come to the conclusion you can't do that no more. He's legit. Not only is he legit, he's legit against good fighters. Top of the division fighters. You got to put respect on Fluffy Hernandez's name now. He's fucked up a few slips of mine. Abus Magomedov versus Michel Pereira is about to start now. But yeah, I like Pereira in this fight because I feel like Abus is just he's always missing. He's just never he never gets that fight, that victory that he needs. Plus, I did like Pereira at 85 till he fought Fluffy. And then I always think of that Strickland fight. Now, granted, it's Sean Strickland. He's one of the best in the world. But the way Strickland abused Abus Magomedov always kind of lowered his stock in my eyes. You know, like it's just the way that Strickland beats you. Strickland beats you with just pressure, pace. He's not like technically anything special. So I always feel like technically special guys, maybe like Michel Pereira, guys like that might be able to fuck up Abus. But cardio is probably, especially at this level, the most important aspect of fighting. When you're both good, the better conditioned athlete's the one who's going to win. Most of the time. But yeah, while we were talking, you know me, I always like to like some of the women's fights. I remember last time I went live, I spent the women's fight just talking about the most attractive female fighters. Laura Sanko. I like Laura Sanko tonight. Laura Sanko's looking good. Always been a Laura Sanko fan. And then it got me thinking. I was like, man, what's the over-under on how many guys, UFC fighters, Laura Sanko has slept with or blown? And that got me thinking. I'm like, we know James Krause. We've heard about James Krause, but had there been any other lucky gentleman that got to see those big chesticles? Pereira, Magomedov just started. We're about 15 seconds in. Little feeling out process. Usually Pereira runs and comes out a lot quicker, but he looks like he's pacing himself tonight. But then again, he was also pacing himself, it looked like, against Fluffy Hernandez, and then he started getting fucked up. You know, I don't know where Magomedov is from, but there's always that like belief, like, oh, he's Russian, and everyone just always thinks he's like Khabib. It's like, there's Khabib and Islam, and then there's everybody else. We saw that even with Umar. Like, Umar is not Khabib or Islam. Islam and Khabib are special. Khamzat is special. Nice right hand just landed for Magomedov. We're starting to see now, people are starting to get that they might be from Dagestan, but they're all not that guy. Pereira looks a little uncomfortable right now. I got Magomedov winning this first minute and a half. Ooh, nice left hook. Just wobbled Pereira. Magomedov's charging him. Man, is Pereira going to fuck up my slip again? Oh, nice head kick just glanced for Magomedov, but he fell throwing it. Oh, big right hand from Magomedov. Yeah, Pereira's in trouble here. He keeps trying to throw this like bullshit teep, and now Magomedov just rocked him. Now he's goofy-footed. Keeps throwing this teep. I don't know why he's going to the well too much with this teep. And Magomedov is just timing him. Has rocked his shit twice now. 2:30 left in the first round. And now for someone who has suspect cardio, that's never good. Oh, nice takedown by Magomedov. You know, when you have suspect cardio, it usually, once you get rocked, it zaps you a little bit more. But takedown for Magomedov. Now he's... What? They just suspended my live for some reason. I don't know why. Just kicked me off TikTok. Let's see the reasoning. I want to know the reasoning. Hate speech? Fuck no, I didn't do no hate speech. That's so stupid. Again, always fucking with me. That's such bullshit. But we're still here on YouTube. Always fuck with me. What did I say? Maybe because I said no homo? What hate speech did I say? Now I'm like racking my brain for whatever hateful thing I said. I feel like I didn't say anything. That's such bullshit. Always some bullshit with TikTok. All right, Pajeda survived a little bit. Now Pajeda cardio issue. I feel like Magomedov had some cardio issues in some of his fights as well. But yeah, I definitely I need Pajeda to win this fight. But damn, YouTube, those motherfuckers at TikTok got me again. It's such bullshit. Constantly fucking with me, TikTok. I hate TikTok at this point. All they do is fuck with me. Hate speech. What happened to freedom of speech? I didn't even fucking say anything. And they're saying I was spewing hate speech. What the fuck did I say that was hateful? That's such bullshit. That's such bullshit. Oh, here we go. It says violation clip. What do they got me? To do anything with her. She was like biting at the fucking vet when I took her to the vet. I had her though. No homo. Dude, no. Don't get me TikTok. Go to TikTok shop and buy it. Aw, come on. That's what they got me for. This is hate speech. Fucking vet when I took her to the vet. I had her though. No homo. Dude, no. What was I supposed to say? Straight homo? What the fuck? How is that hate speech? I said no homo. That is such bullshit. Oh, that they sent me the clip too. So that means, yeah, they're not fixing that one. I'm definitely banned till, what does it say, May 3rd. That's such bullshit. They got me on the no homo. I was just trying to say no homo. Like fucking Pajeda looks jacked at 185. That's bullshit. They got me. I can't even argue that one. They got me. They got me. TikTok is on that homo shit. Shout out to YouTube though for trying to keep free speech alive as best they can. Not like those homos over at TikTok. Like that's such bullshit. Now that's the worst thing is I got to get some fucking goofball who's gonna review that and say, "Oh no, this is hate speech. He said no homo. I should have said straight homo. Straight homo. He's jacked." That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Damn. Not looking good for Pajeda. A better second round, but he's already down 1-0. He was just trying to grapple Magomedov. He's still on a little goofy. I can't believe TikTok just fucking got me like that. Those sons of bitches. Hate speech. In what world is no homo hate speech? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Straight homos on TikTok. Can't do fucking nothing on TikTok. Bastards. Hopefully, had a steal in the second round. The worst, too, is that they made Anthony Smith the co-main event. That guy's not co-main event. All right, better second round for Pajeda. Hopefully the judges give it to him. 21-7 in the first round for Magomedov. Significant strikes, 18-13 in the second round. But he definitely needs something a little bit more to solidify this second round. Ooh, a good body shot with a little left hook followed by Pajeda. Good jab by Pajeda. He keeps throwing this like bullshit leg kick and this bullshit teep that have not been effective for him at all. He just keeps getting countered. Damn, though, that's the worst, is that they sent me the fucking clip, and they have a clip of me saying no homo. I couldn't help myself but to say no homo, because I said I was talking about Michel Pajeda, his body, and how he looks more jacked, and I said no homo. Come on, bro, what am I supposed to say there? Straight homo. Straight homo. That's such bullshit. That is such bullshit. Oh, man, too. I'm at like a count warning, so. Oh my god, fuck. It says one more violation could result in an account ban. Oof. TikTok's trying to get me. I gotta make another account, I think. Like a backup. I can't believe those sons of bitches got me. I need Pajeda to clutch up here, though. I was like, man, did they flag me for saying chesticles and talking about Laura Sanko's chesticles? No. They got me when I said no homo. Bullshit. How is that hate speech? In what realm is that hate speech? I was just letting the people know. Bullshit. Straight bullshit. They got me. They got me. Man, I'll tell you what though, if Pereira loses this fight, I'm fucking done with Pereira. I thought he had enough for Abu Smagomedov, but I was fucking wrong. He keeps throwing this fucking teep. Or just showing a teep. And it's doing absolutely nothing for him. The fans are actually just holding up their lighters or their phones for this fight because this fight fucking sucks. It's crazy they do that now. I remember I was at the UFC in Long Island and they did that and it was fucking crazy. I have a good video of it. But I remember seeing that and being like, oh shit, this is what I guess they do for boring fights. Oh no, Abus in on a takedown. Good sprawl by Pereira. Oh good, Abus is getting tired. Turn it on now, Pereira. Steal this fight. That fucking teep though. He's killing himself. He's losing this fight with that bullshit fucking teep he keeps throwing. Ooh, a little left hook just landed for Abus. Snap ahead his head around, but he ate it. Oh, big right hand just landed for Magomedov, followed by another one. Oh, there's another one. Come on, bro. Yeah, it's looking like Michelle Pereira is choking on this one. Damn, it's looking like Pereira got me again. It is looking like Pereira got me again. Yeah, it's looking like Pereira choked. Hopefully the judges are drunk or something, and they're just not paying attention too well to this fight. What a terrible fight. I'm glad the fans are booing that fight. Both of those guys were fucking atrocious. Fucking terrible. Oh, we got Steph Curry going off in the Rockets game. William Nylander sold me again. That fucking dickhead. Total fucking dickhead, Nylander. $30-27. They didn't even give him that second round. Yep, I learned that lesson today. I learned it last time. I just didn't listen to myself like a fucking idiot. Do not bet Michelle Pajeda. Do not bet Michelle Pajeda. He's fucking terrible. He is fucking terrible. Close, but no cigar. I am now in the Michelle Pajeda haters club. As long as Michelle Pajeda is fighting, I hate him. Fucking dickhead. I'm the idiot for fucking thinking he could fight Abus Magomedov even halfway decently. He put in that fucking trash performance. Fucking goofball. Fucking goofball. I like Macy Barber as well. I'd throw a few sticks her way. Looks like she got some titties on her now. It looks like she got a boob job. Did Macy Barber get a boob job? Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Buckley versus Usman. That's a tough fight for Usman. That was some bullshit. First TikTok, then this motherfucker Michelle Pajeda, then William Nylander. This has turned into a shitty day. What are they showing right now? A fighting nerd? Oh no, they're showing Charles Oliveira. Yes. Yes. Nathan McKinnon with the goal. That's a dub. That's a dub. $700 dub. Beautiful. Beautiful. That just made me poke up a little bit. That's a better day. I'll take that. I'll take that, little Joe. But yeah, gotta root for Giga Chikadze right now. I know he does a lot of work with cancer research and helping people, and you can't not like Giga Chikadze. His fighting style, always entertaining. I'm definitely a Giga Chikadze fan, rooting for him tonight against Onama. And then, yeah, I definitely watched it. I just can't even remember the Arnold Allen fight for the life of me. But I know he lost it, but oh, new training though. Is King's MMA still open? Did King's MMA close? Why would he leave King's MMA? Why the fuck would he leave King's MMA? That's crazy if he left King's MMA. I feel like he was there forever. Plus, for those who don't know, King's MMA, that's like the old school. Rafael Cordero is the old school shootbox coach. Vanderlei Silva, Shogun. A lot of really good guys came from that gym, that school. What the fuck was Shogun's brother's name? Ninja. Whatever happened to that guy? David Onama versus Giga Chikadze. Walking out now. What's up, JJ? Oh, now I could touch your paw? You got your paw on me. That's all right? I could touch your little paw? Oh, little Joe. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, my dog has a little cut on her paw. She got bit by my sister's dog. So all week, I've been having to sneak drugs, painkillers, anti-inflammatories, and antibiotics into her food. And then I have the video on my dog cam, but she was like, I don't know if I overdid it or just the dosage was strong. Like this by the second night, she was all like doped out, like standing up and falling over. So I had to start breaking the pills in half. I didn't want my dog to OD or become a junkie. But yeah, they got her fucked up. So Giga Chikatse. Okay, Freddie Freeman, I see you. Okay, so I need Manny Machado to do something. Did he hit a home run? Okay, we got some things in the works now. But what are we at? We're late in the game, seventh, so he's only getting one more at bat, maybe. Let me see. But yeah, I would have thought a lot more people would have been into the Ian Garry Prates fight. But what am I thinking, actually, now that I just said it out loud? I'm like, what the fuck? On paper, I guess you could say this is a weaker card, but it's delivered so far for fight fans. But who the fuck is going to waste their Saturday night watching an Anthony Smith and an Ian Garry fight? Let's be honest. I just had a real moment where I realized, man, you're a fucking diehard, that this is what you're doing with your evening. But again, I had to attend, if you will, the retirement of Anthony Smith. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. If he has a haters club, I am a card carrying member. Fucking hate that guy. He's just cringy. And again, he probably thinks I'm cringy. But I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, Anthony Smith. I hope Eugenio Suarez hits this other home run. I feel like you don't see that enough. 4 home run games. Oh my God, he did it. Eugenio Suarez, 4 home run game. That's crazy. I was trying to live bet it, but everything was frozen because I guess he just had hit it. But that's fucking nuts. A 4 home run game. Good for him. He just tied that game up. I need that game to, I need some more stuff from that game. So I'm fine with that game being tied up. But man, he thing with him is he's so inconsistent, Eugenio Suarez, that you can't really bet him before the game. You can, but a lot of days you feel like you're just wasting your fucking money. Hey, little Joey. All right, let me clean up this Wingstop. Go get myself a refill. Three more fights from Kansas City. Giga's in the top 15 still? What the fuck? Fights once a year. I can't believe they still have him at number 12. That's crazy. Those rankings are so fucked up. That's garbage. And I like Giga, but and here we go. Good low kick for Giga to start the first round. Good right hand lands for Giga. What the fuck is the Giga kick? Joe! Oh, Giga's lighting him up with these kicks so far. But he wants to get back into the top 10, they're saying. But yeah, he's on the wrong side of competitive fighting at 145. Ooh, nice little straight left from Unama. Ooh, nice little spin kick from Giga. Good knee to the body. Good low kick by Giga. Ooh, Onama just rocked him with a right hook. Giga's on skates right now, backpedaling. You gotta hold on, Joe. Ooh, good jab for Onama. Good right hook for Onama. Oh, Giga just rocked Onama. Onama's goofy footed right now. He's stumbling. His legs keep buckling. He's going for a takedown. He's got a body lock. Nice job by Onama. Good takedown by Onama. Nice job there to clear his head. Not get knocked out because his feet were gone. Round one, definitely for Giga. Oh, nice little right hand landed for Giga. Oh, takedown attempt. There's a nice takedown by Onama. I'll tell you what, I am loving the 12-6 elbows that now that you're allowed to get away with those. Almost Machado. Giga looks a little bit lost on the ground. Get get out of there. Hey, little drug addict. But yeah, Giga doesn't have much of an answer off his back against Onama. Now he's trying to pop up, gives up his back. I mean, Giga's got to do something. That first round was close enough. They both had moments, depending on where the judge was sitting. That might be an interesting scorecard in that first round. Mm, probably 1-1. pops back up, but with no time left. Let's call it 1-1. So only when I put this fruit juice shit in my shaker, it likes to leak on me. Shout out to V8. Man, nothing gets you like an ice cold beverage, though. It's the fucking spot. Definitely is coming down to this third round. Paul Felder, what are you talking about? Ooh, nice knee by Onama. Good jab by Onama. I mean, Onama's winning the first minute of this third round. But yeah, I gotta know more about why Giga Chikadze left King's MMA. Is it just a temporary thing for this fight? Is it a permanent thing? I feel like that's something we usually don't see. Usually people are lifers when they train with Rafael Cordeiro. What's up, Steeler Nation? The weekend's going good. Ups and downs. I got banned on TikTok a little while ago for saying no homo. Uncle Dana and Hunter have been cooking lately. They have. What have you been most intrigued by? Ooh, Onama looks like he's a little bit rocked right now. I'll tell you what I don't like, and I've spoken about it before. Pretty sure maybe with you and some of the other regulars that pop into my lives is I do not like Poirier versus Max Holloway. Fucking terrible. So if Max loses that fight, Max is done. Like, what does Max do? If he loses that fight, he's lost 3 to Volkanovski and 3 to Poirier. That's fucking insane. Usman and Buckley's good. Yeah, that fight too. Usman's on a 3-fight losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. That's like if Usman loses that fight, he's done. Where does he go from there? And I can't remember even what was Usman's last fight. Was it the short notice fight with what's his name? With Khamzat? So it's been a minute since we've seen Usman. That's gonna be a tough matchup for him. Yeah, it's unfortunate that I guess they must think that Max is gonna win, but I think, and I'm gonna make a video about it because I think what they need to do, and even the worst thing is that drove me mental when I saw that announcement is it's for the BMF belt. Ilia Topuria is the BMF champion. What the fuck are we talking about? That's like when Usman knocked out Masvidal, they were still calling Masvidal the BMF champion. What the fuck is it? If that's what it is when you lose and you're the BMF, then it's a made up title. But if the guy who beat you becomes the BMF, then that's a legitimate title. So for them to be like, oh, the main event of UFC 317 is going to be for the BMF belt, that's so fucking stupid. What they need to do is they need to just shoot out a shot and be like, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier is going to be for the inaugural 165-pound championship. We're going to scrap 170. We're going to make it 175. Bilal's the champion right now. Like, they should have Bilal versus JDM when that fight happens. The winner of that fight's the first 175-pound champion. And then they need to just make 165 so that way they can add another belt and stop making up this bullshit title. And if we're going to have a BMF belt, when you lose a fight, when you get knocked out, you have to pass the BMF title to that guy. Like, Ilia should be taking the BMF title. He should have vacated the 145, and he should be taking the BMF title up to 155. So stupid. So fucking... When I saw that it was for the BMF belt, I literally... I went on a mental rant. I should. I agree with you. They keep doing this bullshit. Like, if they added another weight class and another belt, then they could stop making bullshit interim titles. They'd have another weight class to throw into pay-per-view main events. And I know that they worry about thinning the herd, like thinning 165. And even that, people go, if you say like, oh, well, Poirier and Max don't really deserve a title shot. They're both legends. Make it the first 165-pound title fight. And then what you do with that is the winner, if Poirier wins, you hold a tournament to recrown a new champion. And if Max wins, you fucking have Islam move up to 165. Or you dangle the carrot in front of Conor and say, do you want to come back and be a 3-weight world champion? You're going to fight Max Holloway. If you win, you're the first 3-weight world champion. Or you can have Islam move up to 165. They got to come up with some better criteria for some of the shit that they do. I feel like with the BMF title was a good idea. I remember I was at the announcement for that fight, and I asked Dana, is this going to be one and done? And can we keep the BMF title going and use it to lure Conor McGregor back? And he was like, we'll see what we're going to do with that. And that they just need to make lineage for the BMF belt. They can't just have Masvidal have it, get knocked out by Usman, and then the title disappears. They can't have Max get knocked out by Ilia, but he's still the champion. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Like, when they're going to have a BMF title fight, it's like, what are you going to show? The highlight reel of fucking Ilia knocking out Max and be like, oh, no, he's still champion, though. He's still champion, though. Some of the shit that fans and the UFC come up with just really grinds my gears. Same as everyone right now pushing for Gaethje to get the shot over Ilia. Ilia should have a red carpet lying in the fucking ground for him to go fight the 155-pound belt. Everyone that Islam fights is a former featherweight. Everyone. His last 8 opponents are all former featherweights. None of them are the level of Ilia. Ilia beat the 2 best. Knocked them both out viciously. He beat Volkanovski more impressively than Islam did. Because I'm not counting the Islam head kick over Volk. Volk looked flabby. Took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. They did Volk dirty by not offering him a full camp rematch. That was some bullshit. After how great that first fight was. That first Islam versus Volkanovski fight was fucking amazing. And then they did Volk dirty, gave him that fucking 2-week notice, and he got knocked out with the head kick. I don't even count that fight. But other than that fight, all Islam fights are featherweights. All he fights. Red carpet should be rolled out for Ilia. And now I saw other... the problem is now, too, you have too many talking heads in MMA that, they spread misinformation, and then it gets legs, and then it becomes, a thing. It's not a real thing. It's not a thing to the UFC. It's a thing to just the internet. Like I see people now talking about how it's going to be Ilya versus either Islam or Charles, and they're saying Islam's going to move up. I don't think that's any truth to that. I think it's going to be or should be Islam versus Ilya. Like even Oliveira. Why does Oliveira deserve a title shot? He lost his last fight. Or no, he beat Chandler his last fight, and then he lost the fight before that to Arman. Like if and I saw Oliveira say, I'm waiting for a title shot. If you beat Chandler and you get a title shot off that, give Patty the title shot. That's who they should give the title shot to, Patty. Because he beat, they want to give it to Gaethje. They want to give it to Oliveira. Give it to Patty. Patty beat Chandler more impressively than all of them. I finally got my first car off a legit car lot dealer without breaking the bank and bought it in cash. A 2011 Hyundai Sonata sedan with 70,000 miles. It was garage kept. I'm happy. Oh, that sounds like a dream. I did a Carfax report, and the first owner took amazing care of it. Nice. Congrats, Steeler Nation. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Is your first car ever? But yeah, that's dope. Congrats. It's always nice when you find, like, so I live upstate now, and even in the South, it's like a thing, but it's a thing upstate. It's called barn finds, when you find like cars that have been kept indoors, and you can find some sweet deals. Oh, nice. Congrats. You still got the world ahead of you at 21. Just drive. One thing I can give you advice on: drive carefully. Be very cautious of other drivers on the road and drive carefully. That's what you got to do. You got a nice new ride. You want to keep that car in good shape, and you want to keep your physical health in good shape. Because I can't even explain to you how much my brain, I want to get on my content and I want to do stuff, but my body doesn't allow me to. Like even today, I kind of was like, my back don't feel good. I didn't feel like fucking going live. And then the head switch, the click in my head that I said I'm definitely going to go live for these fights was, if Anthony Smith has a haters club, I am a card-carrying member. So I had to show up for his retirement fight, which is up next. It's always the other. Someone almost sideswiped me today, but I'm a very defensive driver. I've always been. I got into one car accident when I was like 17. That was my fault, but it was also raining out, and I wasn't paying attention for a second, and I rear-ended somebody, but got it all taken care of. Like, nobody got hurt, anything. I've been crashed into every other time by the stupidest fucking people. I remember I was parked one time in a shopping, like a, what the fuck, like a shopping, like a parking lot. I couldn't think of the word. And I saw some stupid lady driving like a fucking idiot, and I stopped my car, and I was like watching this lady drive, and I was like, look at how fucking stupid this chick is. And like, what the fuck is she doing? And then all of a sudden she came down my row, and I'm parked. There's no way she should have hit me. I wasn't in a lane. I was parked in a parking space. And I watched this lady, and I was like, what the fuck is she doing? She's about to hit me. And this lady drove straight into my fucking car. And then got out and was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. And I was like, how the fuck did you not see me? Like, I'm in a parking spot. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Fucked up my whole front end, my fucking headlight, all types of damage. Luckily, nothing physically. Physically, I got rear-ended last year, and it fucked my whole back up, fucked my neck up, fucked my wrist up, fucked my shoulders up. Like, I got fucked up. And never, ever my fault. Ever. The one time it was my fault, I was 17. And after that, I became such like a defensive driver that, like even today, I'm driving, and there's like a fucking go-round, whatever you call it, a turn on, and I'm going to turn off, and the person's sitting there, I put my blinker on, I start turning off. They hit their fucking gas and almost sideswipe me. Luckily, I fucking jammed on my brakes, but like if I wouldn't have been paying attention and that assertive in that situation, I would have got fucking sideswiped, would have fucked up my whole car. But yeah, you always got to watch out for the other people. Everyone's a fucking idiot. Like when I got rear-ended, I have a video of the aftermath of when I got rear-ended. The person who rear-ended me, music fucking blasting. Fucking idiot wasn't paying attention. He was probably vibing to his music. The person that crashed into him that then crashed into me, music fucking blasting. And I didn't see the person who hit me, but I saw the person behind him who hit both of us. When we turned onto the same road and then we hit a stop sign, I went and then the other guy got behind me and then that guy went. I saw him driving like an asshole. Like when he turned onto the same road as me, I heard his tires screech. So I looked in my rear view and saw him like leaning forward on the steering wheel, fucking whipping around the turns. There's a lot of fucking stupid people out there. So that's what you got to be cautious of. Always keep 2 car lengths. And now, since I got rear-ended, I have a crazy anxiety that anytime I stop, I always look in my rear view. Always look. I kind of probably always did that, but now I'm like really nervous of looking in my rear view, thinking I'm about to get fucking smashed again. Exactly. Drive slow and I'll meet you at the red light. That's what always happens. Even the other day, and now mind you, not to be cocky, but I trained my whole life. I will fuck up the average person. I don't even want to fight anyone, let alone the average person, because I will fuck them up. I was driving slow because I'm driving my dog to the vet, so I'm like holding my dog, making sure my dog don't get car sick, bringing to the vet. And instead of just driving around me, some guy drove around me, and him and like the people in the back seat all stuck their middle fingers up out the window. And I'm like, are they flipping me off? And they kept like fucking keeping their fingers up, and I was like, man. Younger me, or if I didn't have my dog, I 100% would have rolled up to them and been like, have you ever gotten fucked up in the Petco parking lot? Follow me there right now. It'll happen today. Like, that's all that was going through my head was like, this guy has no idea that I would fucking drag him across the parking lot. But people are people. That's what you got to always remember. Everyone has what I call only person in the world syndrome, where they don't really think about other people. They just care about what's going on in their own space. And I get that, but 100%. Like he was giving the finger and I went like, is he giving me the finger? And then I went, that has to be directed towards me. This guy just whipped around me, he didn't like get on the side of me. We didn't make eye contact or anything. He like whipped around me, drove like 20 feet ahead and then started sticking his finger up. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like if this guy only knew, I would fucking kill him. But I'm old now, so luckily I have my dog with me. I had some excuses that I could avoid my ego being like, no, I gotta catch up to this fucking guy. And then sure enough, exactly like you just said, I wound up getting at the same red light as him. He was a couple cars ahead of me, but the same red light. And I wanted to see like what the fuck was up with that guy, but I didn't even get the chance because we then just like, I wound up driving the same speed and winding up fucking way ahead of him. He raced up to the red light and then wound up getting behind me anyway. And common sense is not a thing. Absolutely not. It's so terrible. But yeah, man, 21. Congrats on being 21. Don't drink and drive either. That's a thing too. I've done it too many times to, I can only tell you what I've experienced. It's not a good idea. I've gotten lucky many times that I have drunk a little bit and drove. I've never been smashed and drove. I've always tried to avoid it, but it's never a good idea. You'll fuck up your car, you'll fuck up your body, you'll fuck up other people's lives. But yeah, just take care of it too. Go on YouTube, learn how to do some minor maintenance. Always make sure your oil's good and shit. Yeah, there's no common sense. Like I'm sure you've been here for some of the conversations of some of the fights I've gotten into in my life. I beg people. I have videos of me begging people like, listen, man, I don't want to fight you. Please leave me alone. And they keep going. And then it winds up, I have videos of me beating people up. But the start of these videos are me begging them, looking like a pussy and being like, hey, man, you win. Like, just leave me alone. You want to go have a drink, go have a smoke? Like, please, man, just stop. Just stop. It's good. And then they keep fucking going. And then I go, all right, now I got to fucking check you real quick. And I, like a couple of my old friends used to always laugh. They'd be like, how do you win street fights? And I'd be like, I trained. So I know what can draw a reaction out of a trained fighter. I can guarantee it works on a non-trained fighter. All I would do is throw feints at people. put my hands up, get in my stance, throw a feint at somebody, and their reactions are just overly exaggerated. So if you feint on someone good, you'll get a reaction where you maybe get an opening. If you feint on somebody who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, they like flail their arms out and do stupid shit. So I would always square up, throw a feint, and the second they react, I just come in with a combination and usually piece people up. But again, I beg people to not fight me. Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. And then they keep going. Then I go, all right, now we're here. And I ask them, like, what'd you do growing up? And they always say some stupid shit. And I'd be like, well, I grew up kickboxing and doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling, so it's probably not going to go good for you. Sure you still want to do this? And then 9 times out of 10, they actually go like, yeah, I do want to, blah, blah, blah. I think I could fuck you up. And it's like, all right, bro. Let's go outside then. Oh, when I was 21, that was like my heyday. That was when I would fight anybody. Like one of my greatest fight stories was when I was 21. It was one of my friend's 21st birthdays, and we went to Atlantic City, and we got into a fight with like some 30-year-old dudes. We were all 21, and then we had like my 2 friends' brothers. One was like 25, the other one was like 30, and we were all 21. We got into a fight with like, there was like 12 of us and like 14 of them. And the fight wound up being like 6-on-10, like everyone didn't fight, but we were outnumbered, and we wound up beating the shit out of some older dudes. And I broke some dude's eye socket. I dropped some other big fucking dude. Like it was one of my highlights of my street fighting stories. But when it was all happening, I was trying to calm it down. Like, oh, let's relax. Come on, like we don't need to do this. You guys just do your thing. We'll do our thing. And these guys just wouldn't take no fight for an answer. And so I'm from Long Island, so Jersey Shore was big at that point. So I had always a fade. My one friend, though, had like a blowout, like a Paulie D blowout from Jersey Shore. So the one kid, that's what set it off. We were all trying to talk it down, and then it just kept escalating, then it would die down. And then the kid started making fun of my friend's blowout, and it just fucking threw dynamite into the altercation. Made fun of his hair. Then he was like, I'll break your fucking neck. And then my friend was like, break my fucking neck. And we were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I just remember my friend being like, no, shut up. Break my fucking neck. And then it just turned into like when you see the cartoons, and it's just like a little dust circle, like a little tumbleweed, and there's a fight going on in the tumbleweed. That's where it turned into. And then after the fight, I remember the most concerning thing to me was how bad did I hurt the kid I hit. And then he had his hand over his face. And I was like, how bad did I hurt that kid? Not thinking like, oh, I'm happy I hurt him. Thinking like, I hope I didn't hurt that kid. And then he took his hand down and his whole fucking face, his eye was swollen shut, his whole side of his head. And I was like, oh, God, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. Like, I'm fucked. And then I just felt so bad hitting the kid's face. Like the way I caught the kid with one of the cleanest punches I've ever landed. Dropped instantly. I hit him with a right hand, and I threw a left hook after it. The left hook hit air, like because he dropped so quick from the right hand. But I remember talking to that kid specifically and being like, hey, man, like, calm your friends down. Like, we're not trying to fight. Like, we're good. And then that happened to be the first kid that, like, came at me. And I was like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, you learned a lesson that day. No. Luckily, as the cops started walking around, I took a step back. Then as they started talking to my friends, I took another step back, and I kind of like blended into the crowd. And then security came up to me, and they were like, what happened to that kid's face? Kind of saying like, they were like, what happened to that kid? Do you have any involvement in this? I was like, nah, I didn't do anything. And they were like, don't go anywhere, stay right here. Then they went and started talking to other people. I took another step back. And then they riled up like 4 of my friends, 5 of my friends, and then the kids, all the other kids, and then they only got like 5 of my friends. All of us kind of like started falling in the back. They got my friends that wouldn't stop. They were still like, yeah, what's up, motherfucker? Those are the ones that they grabbed. I just got real quiet and kept moving back. And then I was waiting for them. I wanted to leave, but my other friends were like, no, let's wait for them. And I'm like, bro, we got to get the fuck out of here. So I then was waiting for them by the office, and the people came out, and they were like, we're watching the videotape right now. We see that you were involved in the fight. Like, let me see your ID. I was like, I don't have an ID. Like, blah, blah, blah. They were like, what's your name? And I had a fake ID at this time. So I gave them my friend's fake ID, and my friend got banned from the Borgata. As it was because of me, but he got banned for like 10 years from the Borgata. But then I just like snuck away and disappeared from my friends, and then we all met back up at the hotel room like an hour later. And then I remember always the second I walked in, they were all like, yeah, and then I hit him like this. And then the second I walked in, they all just started cheering, and we were like, yeah, we fucked those kids up. And then I'll always remember the bouncers at the hotel, at like the club, the area where we got into the fight. They were like, you guys are from New York. Those guys are from New York. You guys are the badass New Yorkers. And they like gave us all pounds and were like, you guys fucked those guys up. But yeah, it was a real fun experience. But hindsight, it's like we shouldn't have. We got into a fight. Where are you from, Steeler Nation? So Atlantic City's the big place over by us, or, you know, big casino area. And we got in a fight the middle of the Borgata. So like cameras everywhere. And then even a couple of my friends got sued over the fight. So they then months later, years later, got to sit in the courtroom and watch the fight. And they were like, it was the great. I couldn't see the video, but they said it was like the greatest video we ever watched. It was all of us just fucking some dudes up in the middle of the Borgata in Atlantic City. Yeah, so you know of Atlantic City. It's not too far from you. I'm sure you've heard of the Borgata. It's one of the bigger casinos in Atlantic City. But HD resolution, like great camera, like 7 different camera angles. My friends, because one of the bouncers got hurt and said he got hurt in the melee and tried to collect money from it. And then one of the kids, the kid that I hit, tried to sue my friends, whatever names he had, he tried to sue. They wound up beating the case, but it's just funny that they got to sit in the courtroom and watch the video. And they were like, bro, you hit that kid so fucking hard. Like one of the cleanest punches that you could ever see landed. I caught him right in the cheek. That is, you know, and just dropped like a sack of bricks. It was a fun experience, hindsight, but, you know, never good. Like I said, I have so many videos, and even that night, it was just me trying to cool the situation, and these kids weren't having it. So most of my altercations in my lifetime have been just that. Me being like, please leave me alone. Like, I don't want to fight you. And then people just keep pushing buttons, and then it's like, all right, now we got to fight. And like, when it comes to that point, I'm like, to the death. I'll fight you to the death until you stop moving, or like until you're unconscious or I've gotten the better of you. I'm fighting. There will be no like, hey, I'm done. There will never be that. I'll get my ass kicked or I will kill you. But yeah, that almost happened the other day when the guy flipped me off in traffic. But luckily I'm old now. I had my dog that I was like, you know what? I'm going to let this dude live today. No, nobody messed with me in high school. So what happened too is I started jiu-jitsu young. I used to train my friends. In boxing and jiu-jitsu on mats I had in my garage. Like, I would go to jiu-jitsu and I would go to like MMA class and train with all these grown men who knew what they were doing. I'd then come back to my town, come home, and I'd train all my friends. All my friends used to thrash people in street fights. And they would talk about how I thrashed them in the gym and in my garage. Nobody ever started with me. Ever. The only fights I had in high school were fighting with older people. Kids my age and kids around my age, they wanted nothing to do with me because my friends would beat the shit out of their friends and look like ninjas doing it, you know? Oh shit, Anthony Smith just landed a right hand. Like, I had a younger cousin who I used to maul. He was like my training partner, if you will. I would try out all my moves on him. He used to look like he would then go fight people in the street and he would look like a ninja. Because he was a southpaw, so I would always tell him, just throw straight left hands. Nobody's going to be able to get out of the way. You're going to hit them. So he would clean people up with straight left hands and like a guillotine. He guillotined like 6 people in street fights. So people were like, he knows jiu-jitsu. He knew no jiu-jitsu. He didn't know any jiu-jitsu. He just got guillotined by me 100 times that he was like, I kind of know this move. He used to rock people with straight left hands and then guillotine people. Oh, I'm so sick of Anthony Smith. And I hate to be a hater. I try not to hate people, but I'm looking forward to him being done. Yeah, I agree with you on that. They definitely need to have a more established system on giving old people road tests. Like, when you get to a certain age, you got to retake your road test like every year. Because I experience that all the time too. I used to live in Florida, and you'd see that all the time. Old people causing traffic, causing accidents and shit. Luckily, knock on wood, I don't see it as much here or on Long Island, but it exists. Honestly, it's young people. It's young people and women that cause a lot of car accidents. I mean, Anthony Smith is showing up for his final fight. I don't want him to lose. I'm not going to be that much of a dick. I don't care if he wins, but I'm just happy that he's done. Because I fucking hate seeing him. Hey, Nunce? I don't know what Nunce is. But I'm good if that was directed at me. Oh, Anthony Smith's leaking right now. Little raspberry action. Ooh, nice little elbow. Couple elbows from this Chinaman. Zhang. Oh, Anthony Smith ain't liking it, though. He ain't liking these elbows. Again, you develop more empathy. He is knowledgeable, but he's not knowledgeable. He's a little cringy at the desk. And he does like a problem. I used to do the podcast with Menace. A problem I'd always run into is he would try to be too relatable to his own shit. Anthony Smith does that too, where he'll kind of go off the point a lot and talk about himself. When it's like you got to kind of not do that. But yeah, he is analytical, but he loses me sometimes. Like I watch, you know what it was too? I watched too many. Oh, he's covering up now. He's getting bludgeoned. I watched too many because I used to watch Believe You Me. I used to watch a lot of Believe You Me. And then once he came on Believe You Me, he really lost me. I was like, oh, look, we got a troll. We got this clown. Oh, these elbows. The referee's going to move in. Don't move in, ref. Let him go out. Zhang got him. Oh, he's got a nasty cut on his fucking forehead. All right, it looked a little worse than it is. I'll get rid of that troll. I'm picking Gary. I think Gary wins this fight. I was talking about it earlier. I think all those guys, who's he giving the finger to? Is he see that through the TV? He's giving the finger to me? Who's he going after? It's some fat dude in the crowd? Who the fuck is he going after? For a minute, I was like, is he pointing to me? Is he pointing to me? I like how right there, I like when you see camaraderie amongst fighters. I like how when Smith was going crazy there, Zhang was trying to calm him down. This dude Zhang is good, though. This dude Zhang's got like 10 wins, 11 wins in a row now. But I am picking Ian Garry. I think Ian Garry's good. Ian Garry made me a believer. I don't like the Cook lifestyle, a Cuck lifestyle, whatever the fuck it is. He is a little cringy. I met him in passing at Killcliff, Sanford back in the day, and I could have interviewed him, or they were both getting ready to leave, so I was like, interview him or interview Gilbert. I went with Gilbert because I love Gilbert, and I've been friendly with Gilbert for years. So I was like, oh, I definitely want to just have a quick chat with Gilbert before he fights Khamzat. I forget who Ian Garry was fighting, but even back then, Ian Garry was at the gym. He had his wife. He had a cameraman. He had like an entourage. And I was like, he seems He's definitely not Conor. He's trying to be Conor. And I got that vibe from him years ago that I wasn't overly like, oh, I need to interview Ian Garry. I was like, let me just go talk to Gilbert. And then I was never sold on the skill set. I thought he wasn't that good, but then that Shavkat fight made me a believer. That now I'm like, all right, I got to put some respect on Ian Garry's name. Yeah, he's cutting the gloves off. But yeah, who was that guy that he was yelling at? And then, yeah, the funniest, the greatest moment, if you will, was that fight with Johnny Walker when he went somewhere else. The CTE kicked in. He was like, "You trying to fuck with my family?" And Johnny Walker was like, what are you talking about? What is he doing? You trying to come after my family?" Gary Luque was canceled a while ago. Him and Buckley was once canceled. So how many book fights were there with him? A lot. Yeah, he's had a few cancellations. I love Luque though. I've trained. I didn't get to train with Luque. Luque was on the mat with my team the day I broke my leg. I probably would have gotten around him with Luque, but I happened to break my leg that day. But then even him too, always been courteous with his time, always been cool, always been what's going on when I see him in passing. I wouldn't say I'm on the train. He definitely won me over. And then with the fighting nerds, I'm not on the fighting nerds train. I think that they are way overhyped off of beating the middle of the division. Everyone's like, oh, they're future champions. They're not beating the contenders yet. Like Cajo Baharis is the highest potential one I've seen, but like Rufy, Bobby Green's not even the same Bobby Green. He never was even that great he was never in the top 5, you know? Like Gene Silva beating Bryce Mitchell. I'm not like, oh, he's the next champion. He beat Bryce Mitchell. What are we talking about here, you know? Bryce Mitchell striking is fucking terrible. Other than that time that he somehow knocked down Edson Barbosa, that had to have been Edson Barbosa thought he was so terrible that he just caught Edson Barbosa. There was no setup. There was no nothing. He just jumped in with a combo, and you could tell Edson Barbosa had no respect for his striking. That's why he got caught. Who's the other one? I can't think of. There's another fighting nerd. Rufy, Silva. I think Kyle Baharis, or however you pronounce it, is the best one. He's the most proven right now. I think he might have a top 5 win or a top 10 win. All the other ones, they don't even have top 10 wins, except for Gene Silva has the Bryce Mitchell. But what is Bryce Mitchell? 7, 8? I don't understand the glaze yet that everyone's given them. And I think, Prates is the other one. Prates, who the fuck is Prates beat? He's beating some good fighters, but he's not beating the top of the division. If he beats Ian Garry, he'll make me a little bit of a believer. But I think Ian Garry probably sticks and moves his way to a decision. If not, going off that Shavkat fight, I think since Ian Garry left Killcliff and now trains in Brazil, I think he's with a smaller camp, and I think he's making bigger leaps in his grappling. Like, that's the only problem with Killcliff or even like American Top Team. And now I've trained around and at both of these gyms, is they're so big that unless you find someone and go out of your way to get like extra attention, you don't get extra attention. So you're like in the room, you're getting good work, but to really make improvements, you kind of need like your own coach. You don't need a guy who coaches 35 people, 40 people, hundreds of people. You need a guy who coaches like 5 people or coaches just you type shit. I think that's what Ian Garry has now a little bit more now that he's in Brazil. I think, and who are his coaches? I think one of his coaches was Damian Maia for a little bit. I know at one point he was working very closely with Oliveira. So it's like when he's at Killcliff, I think he gets work with a lot of the high-level names, but I don't know if they were never his coach type shit. But yeah, I think he's really improved, Ian Garry. He's the man, too, handling the wife's criticism, talks some arrogant, rude fighters, always bashing her. Yeah, he was close to beating Shavkat. But yeah, the whole wife thing I'm a little iffy on, but the fact that what got me iffy on it was the fact that the wife wrote a book on how to marry and catch and trap athletes. That would have been a red flag for me. Like, whoa. And then there's also stories of like her hooking up with other athletes from other sports and stuff. Like she's tried her playbook before and it just didn't work. Her playbook worked on Ian Garry. Like Ian Garry fell for it and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm into this. You're my older woman, yeah." Other athletes were like, "Nah, I'm just gonna fuck her and forget about her." But yeah, I see what you mean by that. He definitely handled the criticism well. But he did also look cringy in handling the criticism at moments. But he won me over a little bit. He's still he hasn't won me over with his character or his talking. He's won me over with his fighting. Like how he fought Shavkat. Why are they glazing Anthony Smith with a fucking video like this? He doesn't deserve this video. Bro, Anthony Smith does not deserve a highlight video when he retires. Maybe I'm an asshole for saying that, but that's crazy that they're glazing him with a video like this. Stipe didn't get a video like this. The greatest heavyweight of all time did not get a video like this. Why the fuck is Anthony Smith getting this video? What the fuck am I watching right now? This is again, like I was saying, sometimes the UFC does some stupid shit. Like the BMF belt right up there with this fucking video right now for Anthony Smith. I could think of fucking 10 people who retired and didn't get a fucking video like this. That were legends of the sport. This is Anthony Smith. Bro, I would take a taste of Gary's wife. Gary's wife is hot, I think. It's just that she wrote a book about how to be a wag is the real red flag. That's crazy. They got people to send in videos and they're like really glazing Anthony Smith right now. This is fucking crazy. Glover Teixeira didn't get a video like this when he retired. Why the fuck is Anthony Smith getting this video? It's insane to me. Rashad Evans didn't get this video. Anthony Smith, what's his name? Glover Teixeira didn't get this video. Think of how many fighters retired and didn't get this type of fucking respect on their name when they retired. This is insane to me. They did. Yo, they showed it. That's great. They just showed that. That's on his highlight. That's fucking great. That's funny. That is the greatest highlight of his career. He could have been champion right there. He could have been like, I cannot go on. That was the most respectful moment that I had for him, was when he was like, nah. I don't want to win the title that way. He could have easily been like, this is how I'm going to win the title. I'm so mind boggled though by this video. This is like a 5-minute video. He just, Chael Sonnen just said, I speak for the Lionheart fans. There's not many. How the fuck is he getting this video is insane to me. This is mind boggling. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy, bro. Does he have fucking dirt on Dana White or something? How the fuck did he swing this? That's nuts. That's fucking nuts. You know, it makes me think too. That absolutely makes me think of when Dennis Bermudez retired. They were like, "We heard you might retire, but you got to go quick because we're running short on time." And they like rushed his retirement speech, and he started crying because his uncle was sick, and they like still rushed his retirement speech. But they just gave Anthony Smith a 7-minute fucking video and 13 minutes in the cage to put his gloves down. They gave Stipe like fucking 10 seconds. That's fucking crazy. I know mixed martial arts is definitely the best over WWE. I wouldn't say emotional, but I was happy for him. I like WWE. I grew up with wrestling. Wrestling makes me feel like a kid again. And wrestling always makes me think of when when I was a little kid, my dad used to take me to wrestling events. And like when I was a little kid, before there was UFC, before there even was UFC, I used to watch wrestling when I was a little kid. Like I remember watching The Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan when I was a little kid, and that being like the craziest thing in the world to me. Wrestling will always hold a special place in my heart, if you will. But I liked seeing John Cena. He was never my favorite wrestler. I just liked seeing someone, not that I hate Ric Flair, I loved Ric Flair, but I liked seeing somebody get that. What is this? Is this Machado working with Jason Stout? He's working. Ian Machado has one of the Kill Cliff coaches in his corner right now. That's interesting. I wonder if he trained in South Florida for this fight or if he was still in Brazil. But yeah, shout out Jason Stout. He's a very underrated coach. He's the guy with the dreads and always looks crazy from Kill Cliff. He was Jared Gordon's coach for a long time. He used to coach and teach out of a gym in New York, and then when the gym closed because of COVID, Jared Gordon mentioned him to Henry Hooft and the rest of the Kill Cliff or Sanford coaches at that time, and they like brought Stout in with open arms, and he's now become one of the striking coaches down there. Really funny dude. And a good coach. I'm a Jet fan, unfortunately. I wanted the Jets to if the fact that Shedeur Sanders was slipping so much, I was like, please take him. I wanted them to take him. They don't even have a fucking quarterback. They're always going through bullshit with quarterbacks. They definitely should have took him, and he wound up going to the Browns, which is fucking crazy. I don't know if you follow college football, but he was pretty good, Shedeur Sanders. He wasn't bad. I used to bet on Colorado games, so I would like watch the games. He was a good fucking quarterback. That's fucking crazy that everyone was passing on him. I guess it's because of Dion or his attitude or something he said or did. I think he was in a car accident or something. He did something that like turned a lot of teams off on him, but I was shocked that he slid so bad. It was like out of like you see that in like movies where they make the guy like undraftable and he doesn't get drafted, but that was crazy. Remember that happened to Will Levis. And I don't know why it happened to Will Levis. Will Levis is actually not a bad young quarterback, but I remember him slipping in the draft, but he didn't slip as bad as Shedeur Sanders did. That shit was crazy. And then that's the other thing, too, that's crazy is he would have made, like, fucking the fact that he slipped so much in the draft, he lost like $50 million. 37. I think I saw one report said 37. I saw another one that said like 45. By slipping that much in the draft, he lost fucking tens of millions of dollars, which is fucking crazy. I got terrible vision, so sometimes I got to lean forward. But yeah, Brady didn't drop because of like anything like that, like what's going on with Shedeur Sanders. Brady, they just didn't think was that good. Brady was like an outlier to that whole view of people slipping in the draft. They just didn't think Brady was that good. Shedeur Sanders showed in college he is that good. It's his attitude that he wound up slipping. Like Brady, they just didn't think. Like I remember seeing the report on Brady years later when he was retiring, them saying they didn't think Brady was an athlete. They didn't see athleticism in Brady. They thought he was slow. They thought he was like dopey. They didn't think he had good patience in the pocket. Like everything other than what Brady actually was. You know, Brady's the great, in my opinion, I'm sure most people's the greatest quarterback of all time. I think the greatest arm of all time was Dan Marino. Dan Marino, as far as like throwing the ball, but the greatest quarterback, like presence and being able to get wins and shit, was absolutely Tom Brady. But the greatest arm was Dan Marino. If you watch like old tape on Dan Marino had a fucking cannon. That's the one thing I don't like about Ian Garry. He like glazes himself hard. Like he's glazing himself right now. Like 25 days notice. What does that do for me? And then I think I saw a report that he has like the picture. Granted, I have fucking UFC posters on my wall, but he has a picture of him choking Shavkat. I think he said above his bed or like right in his house somewhere. Yeah, the Steelers might have a good team in a few years. What did they do? They got rid of, didn't they get rid of, what did they have last year? Didn't they get rid of both their quarterbacks? Didn't they get rid of both of their quarterbacks, though? Who's their quarterback now? Now that I'm thinking about it. What the fuck is that one guy's name? Justin Fields went to the Jets, right? And where did what's his name go? Didn't Russell Wilson go somewhere too? Yeah, the Jets and the Giants. Who's their quarterback now? They'll draft Will Howard. And is Will Howard going to be their starting quarterback, though? Oh, okay. They're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. That pisses me off about Aaron Rodgers. I feel like the Jets should have gave him one more season. Such bullshit. Yeah, we cleared the gutter. The problem is we never had a real good backup plan. I thought they should have just fucking let Justin Fields play. Like, I hope Justin Fields winds up being good for the Jets, being a Jets fan, but I think they needed to give that Aaron Rodgers team one more year before completely closing the book on it. They just expected the results to come too quick, in my opinion. I think they needed to keep Adams. They needed to keep Rodgers. They needed to keep who's the tight end? I don't even know. Alan Lazard. I think they still have Lazard, but they needed to keep that little nucleus together and try to swing it one more time. Oh, that's great. Anthony, I won't retire Smith. How insane was that? Stipe retired, and they were like, are you retiring? Yeah, I'm done. And they pushed Stipe out of the cage. They gave Anthony fucking Smith a 7-minute retirement video with all these legends complimenting him, and then they let him sit in the cage and bask in it for like fucking 6 more minutes. Like, that was insane to me. Think of all the people that were better than Anthony Smith, that had better careers, and he was around for 70 fucking fights, 80 fights, but he had a 500 record pretty much. Think of all the fighters that had such a higher ceiling, that spent more time in the top 10, that were champions. Glover, all these people that put their gloves down. They didn't get a video. They got rushed out of the fucking octagon when they put their gloves down. That shit was insane. Yeah, I hope Fields is good. But yeah, the reason I was telling Steeler Nation, I was like, like right now, my back is fucking killing me. My neck, I was just not feeling it today, and I was like, you gotta go live. You gotta go live. It's Anthony Smith's retirement party. I couldn't not show up to see Anthony Smith leave. And then sure enough, they pissed me off that much more with a 7-minute fucking vignette. That was the most undeserving retirement video I've ever seen. Ever in my existence. Has there ever been a more undeserving retirement video? That's insane to me. I've been waiting all day to get your reaction. I said when I first went live, I was like, as a card-carrying member of the Anthony Smith Haters Club, I have to show up for his retirement. I could not have put some type of content out today. And this card was fucking good. You know, a couple of my people, Matt Schnell, big Matt Schnell fan. I've partied with Matt Schnell. When Matt Schnell fought that crazy fight against Sumaderji, I was blazing blunts with him all night after that. The whole week leading up to that, I was fucking cruising around with him and Yves Edwards, smoking with Yves Edwards while he was in the back seat. We were like, we hope he doesn't fucking piss hot. And then after the fight, he was there with his pregnant wife, who was a sweetheart as well. And he was like, this is why I always love Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell ordered food for him and his wife, like room service and shit. He came down to get it, started smoking with us, and then before you know it, like 2 hours went by, and he was baked out of his face. And his wife came down all pregnant, like, I was waiting for you with the food. He was like, oh, fuck. I got high, like I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm baked out of my face. I don't even know where the food is right now. And he like left the food. He went and picked up the food and left the food right where he found it. They had to like reorder the food. But yeah, I got much love for Matt Schnell. Good dude. And Randy Brown, old training partner, always been a good dude. Like I remember I got concussed one time in a fight and I started throwing up in the garbage pail. And like I had a teammate who was fighting on the card too. And they all like, you know, my team was short-staffed that night, so they all had to run to corner the other guy. So I remember, like, throwing up in the garbage. And, like, not that I was thinking my team isn't here. I just knew they had to help the other teammate. But I was like, man, I'm definitely concussed. And all of a sudden, like, someone started rubbing, like, the back of my neck and rubbing my head and being like, you good? You good? And then I turn and look, and it was Randy Brown. And I was like, oh, shit, Randy Brown's here helping me out. But, yeah, he's always been a good dude. And then same thing when I've had him on podcasts in the past, always courteous with his time. He used to be very, I'm sure they're still close, but he used to live with Andre Harrison, if you guys have ever seen him. Should have fought in the UFC, fought in the PFL a bunch, fought in a bunch of regional promotions. He was the World Series of Fighting champion for a minute. But they still are probably very good friends. Used to be best friends, used to live together. But I've always been high on Randy Brown. And then, who was the other good fight tonight? Matt Schnell, Randy Brown. Oh, and then Anthony Smith losing. Again, I wasn't rooting for him to lose. I was rooting for him to just retire. Yeah, I'll always have love for Matt Schnell and Randy Brown. And then, like I was saying earlier, I've met Ian Garry, but when I met him, he did give me a cringe that I was like, I don't know about Ian Garry. He was trying to be McGregor. He was really trying to be McGregor. He was like 1-0 or 2-0 in the UFC. He had a huge fucking entourage. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I had that bet, but my bets got folded by being a fucking idiot and betting Michel Pereira. After the Fluffy Hernandez fight, I did say I'm never betting Michel Pereira again, and then for some reason today I thought he would beat Abus Magomedov, and he got 30-27 and fucked up a couple of my slips. But I had Garry by decision. Damian Maia in his corner. I'm curious to wonder his corner, how Jason Stout wound up in his corner. Like, I know he left Killcliff. I don't know if he left him on bad terms or good terms, but yeah, I can't believe that they glazed Anthony Smith so much like that. That was absolutely the most undeserving retirement highlight video I've ever seen in my life. So terrible. But yeah, so this fight right here, this will tell you how good Prates is. If Prates could beat Ian Garry, I'll change my tune. But I think Ian Garry probably just boxes him up and makes him look bad for 5 rounds. Hopefully we're in for a dogfight, but oh, that's funny. Ian Garry like walking past them. Prates is trying to stay hard and like grill him, but Ian Garry's like, "Oh, what's up?" saying what's up to his corner and shit. I saw these two chirping at each other at the weigh-ins, and then I also saw Ian Garry was having problems with Michelle Pajeda at the weigh-ins. Like they were yelling at each other at the morning weigh-ins. Then at the ceremonial weigh-ins, I saw these two chirping at each other. You know, I mean, not that I smoke cigarettes or anything. I'm a big proponent of marijuana, but it's funny that you see Prates is like known as the guy who smokes cigarettes and drinks. Like, that's his calling card. He's the guy who smokes cigarettes. You see, like, this is where Ian Garry loses me. Like, he always does some weird, cringy shit. He's trying too hard to be McGregor. He's fucking laying on the ground right now. Like, what is he doing? Yeah, exactly. What the fuck did he just get that video for is mind-boggling. I I mean, I guess Dominic Cruz didn't get the fight. No, they did give Dominic Cruz a video, actually. They did. From the commentary booth, they gave him a good video, actually. And I remember Cruz got emotional when he was sitting at the commentary booth and they showed him that video. But, like, that's deserving. Anthony Smith, what the fuck are we doing here? Yeah, he's doing way too much right there. Him, when he just sat Indian style like that and started, like, meditating, my brain started saying I'm rooting for Prates. And now that I don't have money on this fight, I'm kind of leaning towards Prates. But again, I'm not sold. If I am rooting against Prates, it's because I'm not sold on the Fighting Nerds. Not the biggest Fighting Nerds fan. And I can almost say that. The way Anthony Smith retired now, and now I got to look for a new fighter to hate, it might be Gene Silva. I know a lot of fans love Gene Silva. I see he gets so much glaze in the chats and in the comments, but I fucking hate that guy. The way he barks, that shit pisses me the fuck. I don't know why. It just pisses me off so much when he starts barking. Makes me so fucking angry when he starts barking. So angry that I start questioning myself. Like, why is this bothering you so much? I have no idea why. Yes, Ian Garry is the Conor McGregor from Wish. But man, props to him on his wife. Who's my little friend? My dog? My dog's all drugged up. All right, here we go. Ian Garry. Do you guys call him Machado Garry, or you don't have enough? Like, I don't respect him that much. I'm not going to call him by his government. I call him Ian Garry. It's like when you know a guy for so long, then all of a sudden he starts going, can you mind calling me something different? She's chilling right now. She's all hopped up on painkillers and anti-inflammatories and some antibiotics. She got bit, so the paws are like the most sensitive receptor for a dog. She got bit on her paw by my sister's dog. And then she wound up, because dogs' mouths are so dirty, she wound up getting an infection. But she's all right. She's just chilling. I had to tone back her dosage a little bit, because the other night I was out and I was watching on my camera, and I saw her like fucking. She's like stood up and started stumbling. She was all fucked up. So I had to tone down her dosage a little bit, but she's doing good. Joanna Jones Jacek is the name. But yeah, I bought. I always buy cards when I see them. I hit a little Ian Garry card today. Probably not worth much, but I'm trying to find the card that is worth something to show you guys. I did hit one. I always, whenever I buy cards, I always try to get. You look for that hit that you're like, oh, all right, I made my money back. Yeah, she seems like she's doing a lot better. Her foot's still a little tender. I wish Curtis Blades too. Really good dude. Every time I've had an interaction with him, and he used to train with one of my old friends, one of my old training partners, Joshua Marsh, who was like an All-American wrestler. But I hit like a 1 of 50 Curtis Blades, but, Curtis Blades cards probably aren't worth that much, but I should definitely try to see if I can mail this to him and get it signed. Then I'd have a 1 of 50 autographed Curtis Blades. And then the card that I hit today that made my little haul worth it at least is I hit a Valentina is always nice. I hit like a little green Valentina. It's probably worth like fucking $20 ungraded, $10 ungraded. Then if you grade it, maybe worth like 100. But then I hit a 1 of 50 gold Israel Adesanya. So arguably one of the best middleweights. He'd be on the Mount Rushmore of UFC middleweight. So a 1 of 50 gold Izzy. I'd have to see him though to get that signed. I don't think I'd be sending that card through the mail to New Zealand. But I did. I'm not in Florida, I'm in New York. But I did just see he was at that UFC in Miami, and he stopped into Killcliff and was down there training. And then the funniest thing is I saw people commenting because him and Usman were moving around, and they were like, Usman's knees look so bad. I didn't see that, but yeah, Aspinall I'm 50-50 on. I could see the hate. He annoys me a little bit. He annoys me because he thinks he overly deserves the John Jones fight. When it's like, bro, if I'm John Jones, I'm trying to fight fucking Pereira. Pereira has 10 times a bigger following than you and is a proven pay-per-view draw. You're some random fucking flash in the pan heavyweight. But again, my dog is named after Joanna Jones Jacek and John Jones, so I'm a big John Jones fan. Assigned Uriah Hall. The best card I've hit, I buy a lot of baseball, basketball cards, but the best UFC card I hit was I hit a signed Oliveira. So I want to send that in to get graded. If it comes back a 10, it's worth like 350, 400. Ungraded, it's worth like $60, $70. And I think Oliveira, Charles Oliveira, I think he has a lot of diehard fans that I shouldn't, if I ever try to sell that card, I shouldn't have trouble selling that card. But yeah, I wasn't collecting UFC cards until recently. When I see them in stores, I'll pick up a box. Ooh, little slip by Prates. But that's good optics for... Ooh, good right hand by Ian Garry. Good optics for Ian Garry to solidify that first round. Since I put in my head that I could probably get a lot of these cards signed, I was like, maybe I should jump on that. Like a Valentina card I could probably get signed. A Curtis Blades card I could probably get signed. A Gilbert card I can get signed. Tony Ferguson I should be able to, but he's a fucking weirdo. I don't know Yair, but I've met Yair. I've met Amanda Lemos. I can definitely get a Carla Esparza card signed. I could probably get an Amir Albazi. I don't know Kai Kara France. I could definitely get a Pedro Munoz card signed. I could probably get an Ian Garry card signed. Like I can Kevin Bacon my way through a lot of these people. I don't know Patty at all. I got like 5 John Jones shirts. Nice. I got a Patty. I don't know if I can get a Patty Pimblett signed. I'd like to try. I could probably get a Max Holloway signed. You know who I like? And he's not that famous, but he's the man. His brother's famous. Mo Usman. I've partied with Mo Usman. Mo Usman's the fucking man. We had a house when we first started Menace in the Man. We went down to Miami for some fights. And Mo Usman, Michael Johnson, Jason Jackson, a couple people came out, but Mo Usman and Michael Johnson came to the house one night to watch Ally Quinta versus Cowboy Cerrone. And Mo Usman's the man. Michael Johnson, big pothead. Big pothead, Michael Johnson. Like me and Michael Johnson were pretty much going like blunt for blunt. I don't know if I have a favorite card I own. I got a lot of good cards. I got like a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. I got a bunch of Paul Skeens rookie cards. A bunch that I want to send to get graded. But yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite card. That's a good question. But I have a lot. What happened was, when I was a kid, I collected cards. And I had a crazy card collection. Then when I got older, I partnered up with an ex-girlfriend's brother to sell them. Me and her wound up breaking up. I never got the cards back. I never even asked for the cards back, but I just never got them back. And I regret it so much. He wound up dying years later, unfortunately, and the cards got like lost in the shuffle of life, and I was never able to get any of them back. But I had a really good card collection when I was a kid. Then when I got into a car accident last year, just out of boredom, I started collecting cards again. I went on Craigslist. I bought some guy's card collection. I just started buying up whatever cards I can get. I go on auctions, and I win auctions for old cards, Nolan Ryan's and Pete Rose cards and shit. Just started collecting again. It's like a hobby that keeps you busy. So I trained. That was my thing. That was my therapy, my way around shit mentally. Was watching fights and training. Training was my number one. I used to go running a lot. Running used to be my shit. I broke my leg, and then I got into a car accident, and I don't train anymore. So now I got to find new hobbies and new ways to navigate mentally through life without going crazy. But yeah, training used to be my shit. When I was having a bad day or mentally fogged up or just anything, I'd go to the gym and I'd get rounds in. I had like a good group when I was on Long Island. I had a couple of like sessions, if you will, where like me and some friends, some higher level jiu-jitsu guys and wrestlers would just get together and just do live rounds. And then we had on Long Island a thing called the Pro Class, where every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the mornings, it would just be as good of pros as we can get from all over Long Island. Bunch of UFC guys, bunch of high-level wrestlers would all just get together and do rounds. Do a lot of sparring, positional training, shit like that, and that used to be like my therapy. And then at night, I got to the point where I didn't really take classes anymore. It would always be just me and good guys getting together and just doing live rounds and exchanging techniques, and that was always my therapy. But once I lost that, I got to find new shit. Every day, I'm like, man, I should just walk into a jiu-jitsu gym. But like today, for instance, my back is fucking killing me. So it's like I remember I was all fucked up. When I was all fucked up, I went into Killcliff I went into Sanford before they became Killcliff. Had no business being in there, training-wise. But I remember just watching it and being like, I'm going to train today. And I remember I hit up Henry Hooft and was like, you mind if I jump into some classes? He was like, you could use my gloves. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, now I got to do it. I jumped into some sparring right away. Then I remember the next day I hit up Greg Jones, who's a high-level wrestling coach, the wrestling coach from Kill Cliff, and I hit him up like, you mind if I jump into a wrestling class? He was like, was waiting for you to say something. But I remember, like, you know, I hadn't trained in years, and I was on the mat doing fucking rounds with all these UFC guys and all these high-level fucking up-and-coming pros, and I just loved it. Felt so alive, but physically, my body's just, I'm fucked up. It sucks. That used to be my therapy. Now my therapy is cards. Shout out to the John Jones shirts. I love a John Jones shirt. I got to get some. I still have some in my closet of football and basketball. Did the research of the basketball ones, not worth that much. Though the football, though, I should look into. Yeah, you'd be surprised. What happened was when COVID happened, the game changed. The whole card game changed when COVID happened. The almost like the transfer of wealth, like what happened with Amazon and shit like that during COVID, that happened with the card companies too. Where now so much stock is in graded cards, and if they're graded, they're like gold. Like if you send a card into PSA or SGC and they're graded, they're solidified, like they're as good as a piece of jewelry. If you have a raw card and they're not graded, then it's like people jip you down and fucking, you're always in a negotiation. And then it used to be like you buy a pack of cards or a box of cards, and there were a few inserts. There was base cards and then a few inserts. Now, every single card has like 10, 20 variations. That's how they basically robbed parents and kids in today's card generation. Like when you buy a pack, you're not even chasing the base cards. It used to be you're chasing the base cards, and if you get an insert, it's great. Now you're chasing inserts, nothing but inserts. Like one card has 20 different variations of it. They're all worth different prices. So the game really changed. It's crazy. Yeah. Yep, I completely agree with you. My circle was always small and varying. A lot of my friends are dead. A lot of my friends are drug addicts. A lot of my closest people I grew up with went down bad roads. Some of them made it out and are in good shapes, but we don't talk like we used to. You know, life, you just lose friends, you separate from people. But yeah, a lot of my friends, they all turned to drugs. My cousins, a lot of family members, a lot of people all went down different paths than me. That you lose touch. I mean, I've been passively paying attention to this fight. I was on a ramble there about baseball cards and shit, but I think Ian Garry's winning pretty clear. You know, Prates, if you smoke cigarettes, you're not going to have that. I don't give a fuck how cocky you are with it. You're not going to have great 5 round cardio. But right now, it's looking like Garry by decision was the best pick, the best play. I'm deceptively large. So I have like I've always had I have like a long torso and a long body. I'm like 6'2". So I'm like, and now that I've gotten fat or chubbier, I used to always be skinny. I used to always be an extra large. Now I'm a double XL. But yeah, I'm not little. I have like a long body. So a lot of times when I would get extra large shirts, they'd be like belly shirts. So I was always trying to get double XLs. Now, across the board, I'm double XLs. Now I actually have the problem where when I wash my double XLs, they shrink and become belly shirts. Ooh, nice uppercut by Ian Garry. But yeah, Ian Garry's piecing him up from what I'm seeing. Ooh, nice right hand by Ian Garry. You know, I was all hopped up on doing play-by-play today. I feel like I got away from it during this fight. But really, what totally stopped my play-by-play today was TikTok. The fact that TikTok fucking banned me again. Totally slowed my roll. Ian Garry with a takedown now. Do I have a P.O. box in the description? I don't believe so. Ooh. My thoughts on Trump's tariffs? I think they'll work out eventually, to be honest with you. You know, if you look at the history of our country, I think that tariffs have worked in the past. And when you hear the government, you know, people in the government now speaking out against them, it's just because Trump's doing them. You could watch old videos of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and all these politicians saying how we needed higher tariffs because it'll bring down taxes on the American people. And that's basically what the goal with tariffs are, is to stop taxing the people and start taxing the other countries. And so that's what's crazy too, is what happened is at one point the government realized we can make this big pot that we can siphon money out of, and that's taxes. Taxing the American people. They make this big pot and then they siphon money out. They launder money. That's the biggest money laundering scheme in the world. Taxes and NASA. And NASA is funded by the American taxpayer. And all it is just corrupt government. And an age-old system that's passed down generation of politician to generation of politician. You know, the playbook's out, where a politician knows that all they got to do is get elected and they'll become a multimillionaire by siphoning taxpayer dollars. Doing favors for people, getting kickbacks. Yeah, that Biden administration was fucking insane. The fact that they were doing so much fucked up shit, there's no American that should be able to understand that and agree with it, what all the shit they were doing. If you are like, no, we need immigrants that are undocumented. Remember how fucking insane they were with COVID? That everyone needed to be vaccinated or you aren't allowed out of the house and all this shit, but then all of a sudden they just started letting in illegal immigrants. How does that make sense? You saw like there were spikes in measles and all types of fucking crazy illnesses and shit with the surge of the immigrants, all because we didn't want to fucking document or check any of them or anything. But a couple years before that, you were a criminal if you didn't abide by COVID laws. If you were an American citizen and you didn't abide by the COVID laws, you were a criminal. But they wanted to let in all these immigrants. And then, like, you saw Trump say it, and because Trump said it, they tried to make it like it was a joke, but Trump was like, I call it migrant crime. It's a real fucking thing. It's 100% a real thing. There's dangerous fucking criminals from other countries that come to America, they see a relaxed justice system, and they commit fucking crimes. It's fucking mind-boggling that there's people that support that. Like, they didn't do anything for the people affected by the hurricanes in North Carolina, but they're flying to fucking Ecuador or El Salvador or wherever the fuck it is to protest for an MS-13 member that we kicked out. How does that make sense? You know what it is, too? It's all fun and games until it's their kid or their daughter or there's something that gets raped or murdered. That's what it really comes down to. Like, let Nancy Pelosi's kid get fucking raped or put in a fucking oil drum or something by MS-13 or a Mexican cartel, and then there'll be for war against them. You know what I mean? Like, just, it's fucking insane. There's definitely something fishy going on with the government and a certain sector of the government and these gangs. And it's because they all fucking take bribes and kickbacks, and it's all money. Where I think people could hate on Trump, but I think, and people, oh, he's for himself, he's for billionaires. I think he's the most for the American people that we've had in a very long time. And it's simply because he's not a lifelong politician. Lifelong politicians are like indoctrinated to, this is the way the system works, this is what you do, this is how you vote, this is blah, 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 blah. Like, a wise man once told me, and then I looked it up and saw that it's like a great saying. I forget who said it, but I was told it by my old wrestling coach. Kyle Sermonara said it, and I remember it like registering when he said it. He's married to Caitlin Chukagian, but he said, never speak in absolutes. And I was like, that's a great fucking saying. And then I forget who said it, but like some famous philosopher said it, you can never speak in absolutes. That's how I feel like Trump is. Trump will change his narrative once he gets an information. You can never speak in absolutes. A lot of politicians, they speak in absolutes. Their thought process is absolutes. And it's like they blindly vote with their party. It's fucking insane. You can never speak in absolutes, though. You always got to be willing to take in new information and allow your opinion on shit to change. But man, Ian Garry's completely outclassing Prates, and this is like what we were talking about. This is what we expected, I think. This fucking cigarette smoking. What is Prates? Brazilian? Man, though, Ian Machado Garry, other than that Shavkat fight, he's pretty fucking boring. He's definitely not, like, I like this style of fighting, but I'm also like a diehard purist. But he's fucking pretty boring. $86-24 in total strikes. The crime rate is terrible here to begin with here, and Biden just to open up those borders. When you started seeing Doge uncover how much money we send to other countries and for what we send it for, like trans parades and the stupidest fucking shit, clear as day, money laundering. Clear as day. If we're giving $10 million to fucking Saudi Arabia for trans parades, there's nothing happening there. We're not giving them a fucking dollar. It's getting laundered back to politicians. It's not who's going to protect you in the White House. It's God. With everything we battle down here, but Trump. Absolutely, I agree with you, Steeler Nation. And I mean, I know a lot of people are religious. I try to be. I'm not the most religious person. I try to believe in a higher power. But if there was ever an example of a higher power, it was that bullet missing Trump's head and grazing his ear. And then you get the fucking insane people that are like, oh, it wasn't even a gunshot. There's video and pictures. You could see the bullet whizzing by his fucking head. Like, if there was ever divine intervention or anything like that, it was that bullet missing Trump's head. Like, you ever see that one video when I forget what Trump's talking about, but he's like, nobody was going to do it, but I'm doing it. I am the chosen one. Like, and this was years ago about something else, long before he got shot in the head, but if there was ever an example of divine intervention or God at work, it was that bullet missing Trump's head. 1,000,000,000%. Like, if that bullet hits Trump's head and his head explodes and he drops to the ground, our country would have been in such shambles. The world would have been in such shambles. And, like, for the American people, if that bullet would have hit Trump's head, we were screwed. We were then going into socialism, which would have then ended the way of the American, like, the way Americans live and just the American lifestyle. Like, just would have been done. Democrats would have just completely taken over. Like, their plan with that assassination, I full-heartedly believe, was they were trying to kill him. It was orchestrated by the FBI, CIA, Biden, people pulling the strings for Biden. They were going to assassinate Trump, and then Biden was going to come and give a speech of how we all need to unite and unity and try to become that voice. But that was their plan because they were losing so badly in the polls. And then what happened was he fucking turned his head, like, and it fucking skimmed his ear. Craziest fucking shit I've ever seen. And I think that was God intervening on a nefarious evil plan that was being cooked up by the evildoers, if you will, within our government. Do you think Musk should still... I think Musk is doing a good job. I just think it's the media that's depicting him so poorly, and it's just same thing they did to Trump. You know, they almost ran out of bad things to talk about with Trump, so they started attacking Musk, and now it's just every which way to talk about Musk. One of the funniest things, you see how now Trump is going, and even I almost just said it, the justice system is going after Letitia James for similar crimes like she tried to go after Trump for. But if you watch the news, all they say is Donald Trump is weaponizing justice and Donald Trump is going after Letitia James. When it was Joe Biden weaponizing the Department of Justice to go after Trump, all the news said was Donald Trump's a criminal and Donald Trump committed all these felonies and Donald Trump's a felon and Donald Trump did this and Letitia James found this out. But when the shoe's on the other foot, they'll just say it was Donald Trump. It's not the Department of Justice. It's not the justice system. It's Donald Trump going after his enemies. But when it was the foot was on, the other way around, the foot was on the other, shoe was on the other foot, whatever you call it, all they said was Donald Trump's a criminal and justice is coming after Donald Trump and Donald Trump broke the law. Now when Letitia James broke the law, when Hunter Biden broke the law, anything, they say it's Donald Trump going after his political opponents. It's Donald Trump doing... No, it's the same. It's the justice system. You actually working. And it's not bullshit. Like Letitia James is a criminal. Her shit's criminal. Donald Trump shit wasn't criminal. Donald Trump shit is something that people do with real estate. They overinflate the value of an asset to get a more favorable loan. Where Letitia James lied on loan forms, did the same exact thing as Trump, who was the other person? I remember there was an actor who was found guilty of the same exact thing, overinflating the value of a property to get a more favorable mortgage rate or a more favorable loan. It was only a crime when Trump did it. It wasn't a crime when everyone else does it. But Letitia James actually committed crimes. But now instead of it being she committed a crime and the justice system's going after her, it's Trump's weaponizing the government against another government official. But yeah, we would have been in bad shape. I've been obsessed with the JFK assassination since I was a little kid. And that was like a really dark day for our country and for the world. And what that was an overthrow of the government. And it was a group of people that killed JFK so that way they could steal power and steal control of the government, steal control of the tax money, steal control over the money that they would use to go to war, steal control over the Federal Reserve, all this shit. That's what, when they killed JFK, that was a coup to control the government and control the world. That's what they were trying to do with Donald Trump that day, because they saw that they were losing in the polls. They saw the shift was about to happen. And then when Trump, and again, look at the 2020 election. Where did those 20 million votes go? Where did those 20 million voters go? 15 million voters, whatever the fuck the number was, just magically disappeared from the 2024 election. Like, what are we talking about here? And the craziest thing is how you'll talk to a liberal about that and they have no explanation for you. The liberal news has no explanation for you. Oh, shit. Prates rocked Ian Garry. Oh, my God. Prates is about to stop Ian Garry in the 5th round with a minute left. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Ian Garry's fucked right now. 40 seconds left. I missed the shot that hurt him, but all of a sudden I just see Ian Garry fucked and getting ground and pounded on and looking like he's rocked. He looks like he's gassed and rocked. Who's this referee? Who is the ref right now? All right, Mergliato. Mergliato will let them die. He ain't stopping this. But, I mean, was a clean performance from Ian Garry right up until that. And now the cigarette smoking. I think he broke Gary's nose. It looks like Gary's nose is crooked. Let me see that. Yeah, Ian Garry gassed out. Oh, yeah, Ian Gary's nose is plastered on the side of his face. Oh, shit, that was crazy. But yeah, that 2020 election was fucking insane. So, since 2016, I wanted Trump to win in 2016. I've always been into politics, but 2016, I remember watching the election. Like, rigorously sitting there, staying up all night, watching all the fucking numbers, and then being like, holy shit, Trump's going to win. 2020, I did the same thing. I saw I was awake. I was watching the numbers being reported, and I saw those insane jumps for Joe Biden. And I was like, there's something fucked about that. Like, through all the election cycles that I've watched and all the states I've watched count votes, they never, ever jump up by that much, ever. Then if you watch 2024, they weren't jumping up like that. Like, you saw what happened. And the difference between 2020 and 2024 was, in 2020, Trump spent a lot of his money on campaigning and bullshit. In 2024, Trump spent most of his money on lawyers, on poll watchers, and that type of shit. And they caught so many irregularities before they became a thing. They had so many people watching the numbers being tallied that there was no area for them to cheat. Like, remember in 2020, all that shit was real. All that shit was federal crimes. Absolute obstruction of the democracy of the United States, that they weren't allowing poll watchers to watch the votes being counted, that just all the shit that was going on in the 2020 election. They had the pipes breaking that never broke. They were hanging up fucking boards in front of the windows. They were kicking out poll watchers. They were doing that to cheat and add in votes. They tried to do that shit in 2024, but then when they would turn, they'd see 7 poll watchers. They'd see fucking lawyers. Like, Trump hired, I forget the exact number, but it's thousands of more poll watchers and lawyers and people to help make sure that this election wasn't rigged and fucking stolen. But there's never been a clear, more example of corruption than that 2020 election. And then you were like, that's what 2024 was for me, was sitting back and smiling and being like, I was proven right. I'm happy that I'm not a conspiracy theorist and I was proven right. Because where did those 15 million or whatever the number was, tens of millions of votes go? Because they weren't here in this election. If anything, the number would have went up. If in 2020 they tried to say, oh, well, more people came out to vote because they hated Trump. Where were those people this election? More people. With the way the news depicts it, more people should have came out and voted against Trump. And that didn't happen. And the reason it didn't happen is because all those votes were fraudulent. All those votes were fraudulent. I think there was also something in the sense of how what they were doing with the immigrants. I think they were trying to get votes into the country and some which way rigged the election with immigrant votes. Damn. I don't know if you guys follow hockey, but I was making bank on Wyatt Johnson the last few weeks of the NHL season. And now I've been betting him in the playoffs, and he fucking sucks every game. I needed a Wyatt Johnson goal today, and he didn't get it. And then I don't know who follows hockey, but I was like so close to like $8,000, an $8,000 win yesterday. All I needed was Leon Draisaitl. I bet on Leon Draisaitl all the time. I've won so much money on Leon Draisaitl. He was the leading goal scorer this year in the NHL. Everything hit yesterday except for Leon Draisaitl. Then I'm watching the Oilers game, and they kept scoring and kept scoring and kept scoring. And it wasn't Leon Draisaitl. I went fucking mental. I was so upset yesterday. Was so close. Then when I tallied all up, I don't count the winnings or what it could be until it's a loss. Then after they lost, I started counting up how much I should have made. If Leon Draisaitl would have scored yesterday, I would have made like $8,000. Would have been such a fucking score. Everything hit. Everything. Every bet I placed hit except for Leon Draisaitl. He was the last leg on so many bets, so many slips, that if they all would have hit, I would have won like $8,000. Yeah, the Penguins had a rough year. I like I won a lot of money this year on Ricard Raquel. And Crosby being old but still getting it done. Him and Ovechkin were crazy this year. And I'm not the biggest hockey fan. I just know a lot about it because I gamble on it. I'm not a big basketball fan. I just know about it because I gamble on it. Same thing with hockey. I'm more of a baseball fan, but I've slowly grown to really enjoy hockey. Yeah, Sidney Crosby's a G. But Leon Draisaitl broke my heart yesterday. I've won so many bets with him this year that yesterday he couldn't get the goal for me. He got a goal in the first 2 games of the series. I just needed one more goal from him. I would have hit so big. Oh, I would have hit so big. I'd be on here today with a fucking fur hat and fucking chilling. It would have been such a win. But next time. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm old. It's crazy how time flies. I remember when Crosby was a rookie. I remember when LeBron was a rookie. And now they're all getting ready to retire. Like, who was that the other day? Tim Hardaway Jr. I remember being a little kid, and I used to hate the Heat because of Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning. And now I'm watching Tim Hardaway Jr., Tim Hardaway's son. And then I was like, how old is he? He's fucking 33. I'm like, oh, fuck, he's old. Like, I watched the father play, and now I'm watching the son old. It's fucking crazy. But, man, so now I really hate Michel Pereira. Because today would have been a win. I won on some hockey, but today wouldn't have been. I would have won like another $600 if it wasn't for Michel Pereira. I called a bunch of fights right. I wish I would have just left Michel Pereira off. I went against my own grain because I said I'm never betting Michel Pereira again after Fluffy Hernandez destroyed him. Mainly because of how bad he looked in the fight. Like, he looked just so terrible against Fluffy Hernandez. Like, put up no offense whatsoever and then, like, cowered away. And I was like, oh, he's not that guy. He's not the guy I thought he was. But, yeah, props to Ian Garry. But people like us grew up to the real sport badass gangsters. Yeah. Props to Ian Garry. Oh, my God. This is exactly like I said. Is Anthony Smith going to retire and start doing more UFC media, or is he going to retire and still do the same? It looks like they're going to give us more. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I definitely don't want more Anthony Smith. That is the last thing I want is more Anthony Smith. He's only 37. I thought he was older than that. Yeah, Sandhagen and Figgy should be pretty good. Unreal. I favor Sandhagen in that one. I feel like Figgy's cardio is always an issue, and I feel like Sandhagen probably drags him into deep water. But that first round and a half Figgy is a problem. I just worry about past that Figgy. Like, he's just that guy. Like, he's like the prototypical that guy. Like, just high horsepower, but not a big gas tank. But those moments early on, he's got some potential to end some guys' nights. But who was that one fight where I feel like there's been a few of them where he's just early on, it's Figgy, it looks like it's going to be Figgy, and then he just gasses out, hits a wall. Man, I feel like I zoned out. Who the fuck won that? Oh, Onama won a decision. I totally spaced out and forgot who won that fight. But yeah, almost a good day on fights, but I'm an idiot and I put Pereira. Without Pereira, I had a good day, but I put Pereira, so I ruined my fucking day. Bo Nickel going to be 8-0 May 3rd. Who's he fighting again? I feel like he has a tough fight. Oh, DeRinner, that's a tough matchup for him. That's definitely a tough matchup for him. DeRinner, you got to look at that first. What is DeRinner now in the UFC? I feel like that first fight was octagon jitters. Then that second fight, he fucking smoked. What's that guy? The guy I hate. Oh, what the fuck's that guy's name? I can't even think of him right now. What the fuck is that guy's name? Kevin Holland. Smoked Kevin Holland. Now, Kevin Holland's no Bo Nickel. But I think that's definitely going to be a tough matchup for Bo Nickel. The Renner is a big 85er. He's durable. Former champion. Definitely a tough matchup. Oh, he just said who he was yelling at, and I missed what he said. But yeah, tomorrow is another day of betting. I won today, but not as much as I wanted to. Damn, that cut, they fixed him up pretty good. Anthony Smith. Doesn't even look like he was in a fight now. Why the fuck did they give him such a long video? I don't get that shit. But yeah, Steeler Nation. I'm such a gambler that now I'm like Jones, and I'm like, oh, I got nothing to bet on now. All the games have ended for the day. But tomorrow is a big hockey day. I'm gonna bet the same things I bet the other night, and this time hopefully Leon pulls through. He ain't gonna sell me 2 games in a row. But it was so rough. You know, like Draisaitl is my favorite hockey player. He's a man. But the worst was like he just kept it was like Draisaitl on the break, and then he'd fucking pass it instead of taking the shot. And then the worst is when you look at guys or you bet on guys, and then you look at how many shots they took, and you're like, why the fuck is he only taking 2 shots? He should be taking 6 fucking shots. They have random fucking player who had 12 goals all year taking 6 shots. Give your best player the chance to take 6 shots. Like, who else lost the other day? I forget what team lost. But their best player took... Even like today, the Minnesota Wild lost. Kaprizov, their best player, took fucking 2 shots. He should be taking fucking 6 shots. Not random fucking people. Get the puck to your best player. Like the other day, Tomas Hertl. He scored today, and he helped me out. But the other day, Tomas Hertl took 2 shots. He's the fucking best player, the best goal scorer on the Vegas Knights. He should be taking 5 shots a game in the postseason, not 2. Give him 10 shots. He'll score. You can't have fucking people whiffing at the fucking net. You got to give it to the people that put it in the net. It's crazy how you can like armchair quarterback or, you know, you wonder what coaches are looking at. And you're like, what the fuck? Like even watching that Vegas Knights game, there was so many instances where it's like Hertl's wide open and they're just not passing him the puck. And then you look at the stats and you're like, he shoots the least amount of shots and scores the most goals. So clearly, when he shoots, he scores. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Pass him the fucking puck. Yeah. It's tough to enjoy life, Steeler Nation. You'll see it as you get older. You got to just find those moments and find the joy and shit. As you get older, you realize, man, like, you got to figure out that balance of work and things that make you smile. But again, I say it all the time when I live stream. I got to get on my shit. Today, this weekend is another perfect example. I could shoot out some shots tomorrow and book some interviews for this week, but I've been slacking. I got to shoot these shots. I don't know what it is. You know, I've been thinking I'm going to change the name of the channel because I don't know if we're ever going to do Menace and the Man episodes again. But I got to come up with something clever. And then just hit the ground running. Yeah, they don't let them fight enough in the NHL. They should let them really go at it. It's weird. They pick and choose what fights they want to let happen. Like they stop a lot of them, but then sometimes they let them just brawl it out. It pisses me off. Like when the teams are about to brawl, they stop them. It's so stupid sometimes. And then something I see, especially in the hockey, the more I watch hockey, the referees get too involved. They call too many bullshit penalties, and you can kind of, same as the NBA, you'll see where the referees kind of have it rigged. yeah, that's all it is for me with this. If I really want to get back into this and do it again and make it happen this time, it's dedication and consistency. The problem with my content creation throughout the years, I've always come just right there and gotten to that point where it's like about to blow up and then I fall off. I get it back to that point. Like I was always good at creating opportunities, creating somewhat viral MMA moments, and then I always fall off. Right when they hit, I'm not there to like catch the benefits of it. Like people start coming to the channel and the channel's not active, or people start looking for Stan the Man, something I did, and I'm just not findable. I can't be, I've had a few moments. I had like a moment with Dana White one time. I had a moment with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I had a moment with the Floyd Mayweather John Gotti fight. I had a good, a little moment with Kayla Harrison. Like a couple of moments where it's like if I would have just capitalized on those moments, I'd probably be way more of a space in the MMA community or the combat sports community, but I always slacked. I got to just get on it. The key to that, I could do the long road, which is this, and putting out videos myself, but I know the shortcut. I can make the shortcuts happen. I just got to do this and book some interviews, and I'll get there, but it's about just fucking doing it. I appreciate people like you, and I have a few regulars now since I started going live for the fights that pop in. But yeah, I just got to keep doing it and get my numbers up. And consistency is the key to that. Right now, my problem is consistency. And right now, the only thing I do consider, like I didn't come on last week. Was it last week? There was like subpar fights. I just didn't feel up to it. I got to get over that. Like tonight, I didn't feel up to it, but they were good enough fights that they got me here. And I got to just get on it and start creating content and being overly consistent with it and just shoving shit down people's throats. Constant content. And I know that, I'll be cocky with it. You hear me talk. I know my shit about fighting, and I've been around the sport my whole life, so I got to just get on it. I'll be, again, cocky with it. I think I'm better than a lot of the people that I see doing it. I think I'm as good, if not better, than a lot of the people in this space creating content. And even that, I can 100% say that I know when I've been around UFC events and been at shows, they're threatened by me because they see that my content's a little different, that I kind of don't give a fuck, that I'm not fake, I'm not walking on eggshells, where they're kind of uncomfortable around me because they are bullshit, they are fake, they are, like a beta male, for lack of a better way to put it, or a bullshit content creator. Where I'm kind of like, I never fought in the UFC, I never fought at high levels, but I was around the people that fought at that level. I've trained with the people that fought at that level. I've been in the same room with a lot of those guys. I've been friends with a lot of those guys. I've, conversations, made them laugh, made them get angry with me, fucking had arguments with them. I've been around the sport my whole life. I know a lot of these guys, and I know what they want to be asked. I know what they don't want to be asked. I know how to talk to them. So I got to just get on it. Just been slacking. Like I said, it's easier to talk about it than actually do it. But I have the recipe. I just got to put all the ingredients and start cooking this shit up. Yeah, I appreciate you, Steeler Nation. I have a few. I have a few loyalists that come in. And I got to do it for you guys. I want to put this shit on so that way it's like you guys see it blossom and you guys were here in the beginning. Like I said, the most heartbreaking thing for me is this, that I've gone up with content I've produced or been a part of and then dropped off. And I've always had bullshit stand in my way. Like I remember at one point when Menace and the Man was at its height and we were getting shit moving, I moved to Florida with the intention of going to gyms, booking interviews, doing all this shit. And I got caught up in bullshit with my family, with my cousins and drug addicts and just stupid shit, and trying to help little kids that were involved in like a whole drug bullshit situation, that it just fucked up my whole flow. Like I remember I was going to Killcliff in Sanford and I had so many interviews booked and so much shit I wanted to do, and it was just always fucked up by some drug addict bullshit. Then I had to leave South Florida and move to like North Florida and take care of little kids. And I had to like put my content on the back burner. Then it was always like with Menace, where he should have been. You see how it is with content creation. Think of like Aiden Ross, Speed, any content creator, fucking MMA Guru, Nina Drama, anyone. They grind. They want to be on camera. They want to be making this content. If you kind of have like, oh, we're doing this again, and like you seem like you don't want to be there, the audience doesn't want to be there. That's what I would always have the problem with Menace. It was always like dragging him to do stuff and forcing him to do stuff, and it was fucking terrible. I needed that grind, that wanting to fucking get on it. When your channel blows up, would you ever want to collab with anyone? I would collab with anyone, yeah. That's something else I always tried to do with Menace and the Man, and it was always scheduling. Because the Menace had a very small window of when we could actually do content. And even this, I never wanted to be doing this. Any interviews I ever did, I never wanted to be doing those interviews. I got kind of pushed into them because Menace was dragging his feet a little bit and didn't want to do the interviews. Like, I remember we were at I funded bringing him down to Florida to go to Khabib's events, thinking, I bought the microphones, I bought the camera, I bought all this shit, thinking I'm going to produce him interviewing people. And then I went up to the John Morgan's wife, who was a sweetheart, and she was handling some of the PR, and I was like, can we get some interviews with some of these people? And she was like, yeah, Joanna is going to be in the interview room in a minute if you want to grab her. And I was like, oh, fuck, like, I absolutely want to grab Joanna. And then I went up to Joanna, and she, like, kind of didn't want to do it at first, and I was like, would you do an interview with us? She was like, oh, real short interview. And I was like, all right, I got her. Like, Dennis, you're going to fucking interview Joanna. And he was like, I don't want to, like, his ego kicked in because he was around his peers and he almost didn't want to seem like he was selling himself out. And he was like, I don't want to interview her. And I was like, this is fucking Joanna. Like, what are you doing? Other than Khabib, this is the biggest star in this room. And he was like, you go interview her. And I didn't want to interview her. I was like, fuck. So then I just went up there and kind of my goal was just to make Dennis laugh and kind of make her laugh and just fucking bullshit and try to ask her as much as I could outside of fighting. 1 or 2 fighting questions and as much as I can outside of fighting. And then same thing with Kayla Harrison. I tried to do the same thing. Now, again, I set up Kayla Harrison. That was supposed to be Dennis. Dennis didn't want to do it. Then those videos got views. Then the next Eagle FC, he was more gung-ho, like, yeah, I'll do it. And then the videos just didn't hit. Like, I think he interviewed Gilbert Burns and Thiago Alves and the actor from, what's the guy's name? I forget the guy's name. He was an actor. And the interviews just didn't hit. And then he kind of like pulled back from it. Like, oh, those didn't do the numbers I want. Like, you got to just grind. You can't expect numbers. You got to just keep shooting shit out and building brick by brick. You know what I mean? Our problem was always brick, wait, brick, you know, and then knock it down and then brick. Like, it was just, you got to be on just stacking. Like, think of all those people that blew up, the biggest content creators. They all have the same story. Grind, wanting to grow, just engaging with their fans, getting on it. You know, I was always on that. Menace was always kind of just like mailing it in. And for me, when I'd edit the videos, I would see, like, if he doesn't want to be here, why the fuck would why would a person want to watch this and be like, I need to be here? If it kind of seems like the guy doesn't want to be here, if you get what I mean by that. So, me, I want to be here. I've now grown. Like, I really enjoyed interviewing people when we would interview people. I loved interviewing people in person. I loved going to shows and making content. Like, what I wanted was to be the producer or the cameraman who just followed someone around. Now it's morphed into, I got to just engage and I got to make the content about myself and make the content about the fighters, but with me as the person doing it type shit. So, you know, just got to get on it. I have the potential to do it. I've just been slacking for way too long. And then car accident now fucked me up. And it's always just something. I moved up here thinking I would have a really good job at my uncle's company that would help me out. And I'd have money to pay people to do other shit. Job fucking sucked. Wasn't what I thought it would be. So now I'm up here just blowing in the wind. I plan on moving out of upstate New York, freeing up my ability to travel more and go places. Like, I wanted to at one point just gym hop and go all around. What's up, LeBron James? Did you see LeBron James going off and that motherfucker? I love Luka, but that motherfucker Luka slacking on him. That's why they lost that game, because Anthony Edwards was big brother in Luka. Love Anthony Edwards. Like, that's got to be Michael Jordan's son. He's definitely top 3, one of my favorite players in the NBA. But him just heckling and fucking with Luka, and I love Luka too. Luka's probably my favorite player in the NBA. I like Luka. Like, if I have to say, I mean, there's a couple. I'd almost go like top 5. If I had to list my top 5 favorite NBA players, I'd probably say, and in no particular order, I like Luka. I like Jalen Brunson. I like Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, and who would be my 5th one? I had it on the tip of my tongue a minute ago. Oh, Kyrie. And I like Kyrie. Ooh, and I like KD. KD would be my honorable mention. Like, one of my favorite things ever is, you ever see, I forget what the fan said. The fan yelled for somebody, and he said it a few times. And he was like, damn, how much dick riding you going to do? And just the way KD interacts with his fans, like he's kind of a dick to them, that, I like that. Plus, he's really good. But, yeah, LeBron James was going off the other night. And the worst is I had a bet slip. Everything hit except for Luka. And then I looked at Luka's line, and he was like fucking shooting like 30%. And then I watched the highlights of the game. Anthony Edwards was fucking terrorizing him. Like, you see that one play. Anthony Edwards steals the ball. Luka grabs a rebound. Anthony Edwards pops the ball out from behind, grabs it, dribbles to the three-point line as if he was playing like a pickup game where you have to take the ball out. You see Luka then be like, oh, this motherfucker, and kind of like fade it off. And then he came back in and dunked right in Luka's face. And you're like, oh, shit. Son and Luka. But yeah, LeBron James. That motherfucker Bronny. But yeah, hopefully, that was a nice little rant that I was on. Hopefully this is the time. I say it every ooh, big right hook. I missed that Cameron Saman fight. And another reason, I like Cameron Saman. Another reason I want to see him do good. I got like a 1 of 12 gold Cameron Saman card, but now he's got knocked out and lost his 3rd fight in a row. So that card's value is fucking tanking. And he lost to a newcomer. That sucks. Yeah, Luka plays defense. Everyone says no defense. He has decent defense. He plays defense in spurts. The problem is he's not consistent on defense. And he has those moments where he kind of like stops. Where it's like, a second the ball got stolen, you needed to get on him. Not let him fucking start running around the floor. That's Luka's problem. Luka has like definitely a lazy defense style, but there's some times when I see him play good defense. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I got to go feed my dog some food, try to drug her up a little bit. I'm going to call it a night. I could rant. Have you checked out Severance? What is Severance? What is Severance? Oh, a TV show? I have not seen it, but I like the actors. I like Adam Scott. And it says a thriller. I've actually never even heard of this episode. Or heard of this show. Oh, this is the Ben Stiller show? Is Ben Stiller on it, or he just produces it? It's got a good cast. It looks like a good show. But yeah, Steeler Nation, you're inspiring me, so I got to get on it. I got to do it for Little Joe. But, again, just I wasted too much time. I squandered a lot of resources. I know I can get it all back. Like I've always said, every time I've fallen off, if you will, or slacked on my creation, I've always been able to create moments. So I got to just get back on that mentality and do it again and just start creating some moments. And even if it's small and starting small, and again, like I was saying, brick by brick, you're not going to build it in one day. You know, I'm not trying to get lucky. I'm trying to grind at it, but I got to just get back on that grind and fall back into the habit of making content and getting on it. And, you know, using inspiration from the few loyal viewers I have that pop in. And honestly, the MMA guru, that guy's such an inspiration because I've seen that guy just grow. And how he grows is just consistency. Not giving a fuck and consistency. And I had that at one point, and I always fall off. And then COVID, you know, I was all right before COVID too. COVID really fucked it. Yeah, I agree. I've never had a doubt that I could do it, ever. Because again, I've seen my peers. I've been in the room. I've been in that room with everybody. Helwani, Luke Thomas, the Schmo, the fucking Full Send guy, fucking John Morgan, all of them. I've been in the room with all of them. Their shit stinks. My shit, never MMA guru. I would love that guy though. But I've been in the room with all those guys, and not that they looked at me like, oh, this, like they just all had a weird thing with me. Like they all kind of saw me as a threat. And I'm being like 100%. They all saw me as a threat because they're all cookie cutter. And even Helwani, they're all kind of cookie cutter. And they ask questions a certain way. They're not in the community. They never train. They're all fucking like outsiders that are covering the sport. Where I have always been more of an insider. Grew up in this sport. I have family that fought in the UFC. I have friends that fought in the UFC. I've gotten a lot of people ready for fights. I've been main training partners for guys who fought in the UFC. I fucking sparring, grappling, fucking coaching, like every which way. I've been around the sport, like I know how it's made. Like I know, like what's the expression? I know how the bread is cooked, the sausage is made, whatever the fuck the thing is. Like I've been around it, been around all, and then I've been on the other side. I've been around all the media members. I've seen how they all go about their shit, and I'm very confident that not only can I do it, but you think outside the box. Yeah, they're all exactly that. Like I used to always say, the only reason Menace and the Man existed, that it became like a brainchild of mine in my head, was because I saw how terrible media was. And I'd be at UFC events, or I'd be at the gym and I'd watch interviews that people I knew did, and I'd be like, that's fucking terrible. Like, what are they asking this fucking guy? I could do better than this. Like, I know what questions these guys want to ask. And even I used to have this thing where I would always ask fighters these questions, but I wasn't putting them out there. Like, I would ask these questions just for my own brain. Like, I would just, the randomest fucking questions. Like, yo, you ever train with this fucking guy? Like, were you ever in the gym with him at the same time? And they'd tell me the answer, and I'd be like, you sparred him? And then they'd be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, all right. Just to put in here. If I can get that same type of conversation and just put a camera on it, that's what the fans want, 100%. Because as a fan, that's what I was asking. That's what I wanted to know. And if I can get the moments to ask those questions, I think it would definitely translate, and people will love this shit. So I got to just get on it. Again, like I use, like YouTube is a focus group. Like for some reason with the lives, I got to get my viewers up, and I don't know how this shit works like that, but I've put out my beta test, or my focus groups, if you will, in some of the interviews that I have done where they were solo interviews, and overwhelmingly good reviews. There's always going to be negative shit when you go on the internet, but overwhelmingly positive views. Like I have an interview out there that I did with just Robert Whittaker. Overwhelmingly positive views. I have an interview where I did most of the interview, and then Dennis came in late with Alex Volkanovski. Overwhelmingly positive reviews. I have my interview with Kayla Harrison. Overwhelmingly positive. My interview with Joanna. Overwhelmingly positive. I have the people that do remember, like the OGs or the diehards that do remember when I went to the press conferences, the questions I asked. You can go watch those UFC videos, and all the comments are about me and positive, and I just never capitalized on them. So I know I got to get on that shit. Like, again, I think I was telling you or someone earlier, I was at that first press conference for the BMF belt, and I told Dana White, you keep this BMF belt around, you dangle it like a carrot to try to get Conor McGregor back. And he started laughing and was like, we'll see what we could do. I got ideas, bro. I got to just start putting this shit out. So, again, tomorrow, later today, I definitely want to make a video about what they're doing with that BMF belt and how they need to just make the 165-pound division. And hopefully, again, if it gets 10 views or it gets 100, it gets thousands of views. I got to just keep going. I fall off. Like, I think the last video I made or put up was like the Henry Cejudo video when he got poked in the eye. Ooh, hold on. I'm watching Jay Quellen Amarine versus Poliano Viana. These sexy bitches. But yeah, Jacqueline Amarana, she's not bad looking. I'm a fan. She won me over. But great night of fights. I got some things to do, but I got to start brainstorming. I'm definitely going to get on it. You're the man, Steeler Nation. I appreciate you. You're my inspiration for the things that are going to come. You and all the other few fans I got right now, few viewers that consistently tune in. We got to do it for little Joe. We got to do it for little Joanna. So, I appreciate you for stopping by, keeping a conversation going with me. You're one of my loyal supporters, and I appreciate you so much, Steeler Nation. Be careful out there with the car. Drive carefully. Don't let other people dictate how you drive. Be very defensive and assertive when you're driving. Don't smack your shit up. Keep that shit pristine. And then the best thing you could do, keep that shit pristine and then flip it. Try to keep it in mint shape and then sell it for the same price you bought it at in a few years. That should be your goal. If not more money, and then you trade up. That's how you got to look at cars, as a valuable possession that you got to keep as pristine as possible. All right, you're the man, Steeler Nation. I appreciate you. I love you too, brother. So I'll definitely, I'm going to get some content out. You're my inspiration. I appreciate you for coming and keeping me company to watch the fights. Thank God Anthony Smith is now retired. They didn't keep him on the booth. They just had him there for a second. But great night of fights, and I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Well, see you later.